one of the most crucial games of the season, the first game of a best of 7.
I wonder what map we're gonna see for our first game. It's Expanding Rivers. All the more do you have to pay attention for the Doming double, but I think we also have to look at what hero he actually gets to pick up first. Because I think Aurora are slowly starting to change things up a bit too. It's never gonna be the Harith option for Doming unless, right? Because I don't see it banned just yet.
Unless it's like the very last phase of maybe Red 1 or Blue 3. We're not going to be sure quite yet. YSS is going to be out of the table here for Carl Tz. Been very happy to pick that up.
So they actually opened the Harith, which was always denied of Dominkite for the longest time.
That's right.
But things have changed.
It feels like a trap, though. I think that's the reason why they're going to be so happy to do that.
Yeah.
At least banning on the Lancelot is pretty solid for both Demonkite and Carl Tz. But what are they thinking here?
Yeah, because I don't think we even got to see the Harith first pick anymore in the previous
No, absolutely
days.
not.
But this is Aurora, which is why I'm really trying to look at what the option is going to be. But instead of that,
there you go.
They go for the Fredrin first pick.
Which
and now
there it is, right? It's crazy. Now it's the Harith who is going over the Tlph, who seems to be very happy to take that very quickly, right? It didn't even take a few seconds. They locked it in right away.
Yeah.
But we're talking about that Fredrin, Brigida. We talked about how crucial that Fredrin is, especially for players like Carl Tz.
Yeah, the CC is also still open. If Aurora wants to consider that, it's gonna work well, especially against the Tlph Kacha. I cannot recall the amount of times I've seen a curtain call just stop an AOG from landing where it wants to land. So that could be a potential pickup for Aurora as we look at the first phase. Oh, but they go Lapu.
No CC. No CC here today, Brigid. I for some reasons open up until the very end. I feel like Sanford will be happy to take that.
Would he actually pick the CC here?
I don't know. It feels like a trap. Again, it's starting the mind games are starting to be very apparent here.
At least there will not be any threat of, let's say, an export coming in, because you already see what the gold lane of Aurora is, and even the EXP laner is already revealed to us. Here is the draft. So they're just gonna go very tanky, and this is gonna be jungler, right?
That's gonna be jungle, yes. 100. I feel like it's 100%.
Because yesterday there was a Gatot in the EXP, but I doubt that's gonna be the case for this matchup if you're up against the Lapu Lapu.
It might be a bit too slow if you go on XP Gatot. So that's my theory here. You want to be able to give that to JP, have some sense of control. JP has also been using the Gatot Gacha to block a lot of the bullets from Grangers. We've seen that yesterday, and I think we will see that here today as well.
Even when they were up against the likes of a Novaria, he's just gonna be very. Speaking of, they take out the Novaria immediately, but he's been very efficient, even prioritizing Twilight Armor just to make sure that he gets to tank everything for his team. And JP is really very comfortable with the Gatot Kacha, which I like, and that we're seeing right now in Liquid's lineup. But they might go heavy on the mid lane bans. You can see the Novaria already being taken out. I'm wondering if the Eve could be the next consideration if you're Liquid, because the Fredrin Eve looks like a terrifying combo if you look at it.
I love the Eve, the thought of the Eve making an appearance here, but at the same time, we're noticing something that's not panned out here. Where's the Kimmy? Where is the Kimmy here? Where's it gonna slot in? So usually that has been on the first docket here for a lot of our games.
Yeah. That's true. So the Kimmy, the Eve could be options here for Aurora, but for their last bans here, they still took out the CC. They might be limiting the Alice is still there?
That's true. The Alice is still there, somewhere lurking with that gleam. I think he's going to gleam in right into our faces anytime soon. But yeah, I feel like you also, I guess you don't want to think about the Kimmy too much because maybe it'll have a hard time against a Baksha because of the passive, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention they build up a plate armor.
Yes.
So we're looking for XP laners as well.
What?
Benedetta, that's taking deep.
I did not expect that.
I did not expect that bad too.
Oh, really?
Never
mind, Rock.
We thought Yue would pick it up, but no, it is going to be TLPH.
They took the Harith and the Eve.
That's very solid magic damage.
Amazing. These are picks I would have thought Aurora would prioritize or get their hands on more than Liquid would, but they're all in Liquid side
Yeah,
now.
bring it in. That's all magic damage, though. They need a strong
Fighter
XP
So
lane
maybe
here.
that's why we won't consider the Alice, or Aurora are not considering the Alice anymore too.
I think so. I think so.
Looking for a bit more damage to come in EXP lane, but the Arlot's not there, the Yuzhong's not there, and even the Benedetta gets taken out from Liquid as an option. And Aurora finish up their draft with a Farsa Franco combination.
Well,
Oh, okay.
they warned us yesterday that the new stuff was going to come out. Here comes the Franco. I think that's the first Franco of the playoffs so far. And you went back on the Farsa. And now on that last pick, we talked about some good physical damage.
Yeah.
It's not what I was thinking. It's the Charisma.
Yeah, it is physical damage, but it's
It's
not
not like the big damage.
it's not the same as the Yuzhongs, as the Arlots, or
It's not big damn.
but it adds up to the crowd control, to the layer of surprise that we can see from them. I mean, the real world AOG.
Yeah, the amount of catch. That's a lot of catch
that's a
right
lot.
here. Well, we'll see. We are loading up into the map, ladies and gentlemen, for the first game of this best of 7. It is going to be one for the books. Let's throw it over to our esteemed TriCast, the We Bear Bros.
Rock hard, bring it up. Thank you so much. An amazing pre-show. An amazing opening, and it's electrifying here at the FBO Filipino Arena. It's Season 16's grand finals. It is us, the We Bear Bros, Nice Julio and Redmar, to take you guys through, hopefully, 7 games.
7-game grand finals, and we're in for a surprise. Light gets his Franco back. Liquid did everything they could to deny UA Heroes in the second phase of the banning by taking away Sicilian and Novaria, but he still ends up with a really great pick in the Farsa. Franco and Farsa together in the center of the map, but we're starting to see here again. With more Eves, we're getting reminded why Eves is such a nuisance now in this current metagame. Once she starts getting cooldown items on her, bro, she's gonna deal damage really quickly. In terms of the emblems, nothing too crazy. Still pretty much run-of-the-mill.
The reputation on Lights Franco rings true even in Season 16. Undefeated going into this game. So you know that even if the drafts kind of regressed to a pre-project next status, everything that we've learned through the playoffs rings true.
It's really interesting to have this specific draft for Game 1. I think the draft alone, no matter how many games we get, we're going to go through its own evolution. You know, we've seen very different shades of the meta already because it came smack dab in the middle of the season, that I think from draft up game to game, we'll see that shades of the different meta. Because, I mean, when was the last time, you saw the Eve and even the Charisma pop up for any of the games through the playoffs?
Yeah, typical rapid boots rush there for the Franco. You mentioned the Charisma. Team Liquid Philippines just decided to build a wall of beefy bodies because they know that Flora loves to play a very tight formation, especially around UA, having an artillery mage and then Dominic having a ranger as well. So Liquid just gonna look to stampede. If not in terms of the rotations, then in terms of just winning the team fights through sheer brute force. You'll have to watch Sanford and Edwards' timings here and which team can help which EXP laner better.
Turtle now at half health. Carltini rolling Demon Kite out of that pit. RWM the answer. Sanji catches a good amount of salvos. Sanford draws first blood on Demon Kite. Turtle gets reset. Yue chasing Sanji. A shield on this Eve. Not going to save him from Yue. And Yue is way behind enemy lines. How is he going to survive? Like it's the flicker back. Serving it up to Demon Kite. He is ready. Here comes Kiel. Serving up a kill for the cavalry.
And look, Yue's still alive. Is he going to be able to escape this? Yes, wings by wings.
He's trying.
Yue,
No way.
reload. No one gets him. He survives.
A big overcommittal there by Tlph. Arora will get this turtle.
Okay. Talk about a fight for the first objective of the game. And they went back and forth. They traded for kills, but ultimately that objective goes to the hands of Demon Kite. And so they get that. Again, they're holding on to this very minor lead for TLP. You saw the the stats there, by the way, the win rate between a classic gold lane matchup that we see in terms of the heroes, the Granger versus the Harris. Interestingly enough, that TLPH got that Harris too, because we all know, we've been talking about all season, Doman Kite is probably the best Harris in the season.
Oh, yeah. Definitely the best record, best performance, rarely loses lane. Now he has his hands on a Granger who decided to rush the Hunter Strike. Nothing too greedy, not going for the Skypiercer rush. Of course, he's going to be second building that, but a different flavor.
EOG coming in. Daddy JP. Someone forced Bioheb. Light in the middle of it all. Real world manipulation. The answer. Keep it. The homecoming hero down. Light bites it.
Great use of the real world manipulation. No more Zaman Force here. Hits the clap back by Arora.
And an airstrike coming through. Several salvos caught in by the patriarch of the cavalry. No dice.
They did get the revitalize out from JP. Part of this too. And, hold on. XP later is going to be doing it now. Sanford should be able to get away.
Edward really stretching the limits of the body spin at level 6. Both XP laners just back off.
Yeah, and you see there, one of the secret matchups that you can bear up against a Lapu, if you have a good team building around it, pick up the Turisla. Yes, initially, once when you bring out the raging slashes through the bravest fighter, once that's gone, the damage of the Turisla actually just sort of evens out the battle. So it's a bit of a dead lane. We're waiting to see which team's going to be rotating towards the EXP lane more. But I think they're going to be okay with just leaving it as it is, because most of them can manage well. They're just looking to outplay in terms of the objectives. Hopefully Team Liquid Philippines doesn't do the same thing that they did in the previous fight, which was take the fight right at the very edge of the RWF. What a hook!
JP standing his ground. He knows that there's very little follow-through.
All right, hook's going to land here. They're in position. We got to watch out where Sanji decides to set up this RWF, but they're just going to let the turtle.
Liquid deny you call out response. An AOG called back. They will have to wait. And oh my God, defended from Liquid. Edward and Demon Kite got immediately.
You just got dudes jumping all over the place. The cavalry has evolved. They have wings.
Big, beefy boys slapping me. That's it. That's what we're talking about. Just brute force, throw bodies, first damage, play around the RWM, and it looks like Arora aren't completely ready for this type of liquid lineup. They're used to having Sanford a little bit more, like a lot of technicalities with this EXP laters. This time, it's simple. Flicker and use the penalty zone.
It's a Filazona's time. Fundamental MOBA tactics. Dive comp versus
Nessa
comp.
cara.
The poke isn't ready yet. Liquid take advantage.
Yeah, but actually you said the best. The poke isn't ready yet, but when things even out, that's when Liquid need to slow things down just a little bit, because if they're not careful, Arora have a fantastic counter-punish lineup once they have their items locked in for the Farsa and the Granger. Hell, we're already starting to see teases of it. The fights of Liquid are getting expensive. They have to commit a lot to get a big win.
It's interesting how it's happening too, because it's a different kind of pressure from TLPH because of the fact that they have a penalty zone paired up with a flicker, and then you have JP jumping in as well with that AOG. So for Arora, I'm trying to adjust to this, trying to go ahead and not, because you got to think about how much ground can be covered by that for TLPH. That's the problem that Arora has to deal with. So I'm almost thinking best thing they can do is if they're able to get a pick off from Light, take out at least one member from TLPH. That should give them some of the advantage. I think the hard part too is for UA and Doman Kite to actually utilize the space they have.
All right, that's 2-on-1. Sanford eating quite a bit from this duel from Arora. Edward and Ewan lay down a smackdown on 40, sending him home.
Okay, Team Liquid Philippines need to find a position to get for this turtle. It looks like it'll be an advantage for them, but Arora, they are healthy enough to find into this. Waiting for the feathered airstrike of the Farsa to come back. Doman Kite now has a Skypiercer, so Liquid has to be careful, because a big turn by Arora will hurt.
Okay, they're going to start up half health on this last turtle of the game. Demon Kite and Carl facing off. There they go.
Edward into 4. JP intersecting Demon Kite. Can Edward get out of here? Feathered airstrike. Do it. Backing off. Summon force by Olef. Edward already down. Demon Kite follows quickly. Aurora can't fight nothing.
JP with the zone. Perfectly timed so that Demon Kite wouldn't even get in range. He didn't get to use the retribution there. Carl TG, very easy for him despite the entry for Edward. Again, this is why we wanted to point out the importance of the timing of the entry between the two EXP laners. But there's also a Gatos Cancho for the side of Liquid.
Liquid walked away with so much. They took the turtle. Went the threat. Called easy drives by Grand Theft Orange. 4,000 gold up. This is looking like a stampede.
all of it's distributed pretty much evenly across the lanes too. Except for that gold lane, man. The gold lane difference right now, I think it's really playing into the stats that we mentioned earlier with the Harris versus Granger combo. And I would say, even when you see those fights break out, it's amazing because we don't see the Turismo that much.
Yeah.
You kind of forget how much damage he can take, especially with the passive that he has, that Body of Smith. He's able to go ahead and just take a ton of this damage, set things up for Tlph, and then that gives the free reign for Oheb and the Lights to go ahead and solidify that team fight, especially around the RWM. Look at this, they're gonna push him off the turret.
Demon Kite got 4 on him. 7-4 by Oheb, the bite down, the hook. Oheb takes it down. It's a 2-man trade, 1-for-1. JP for DK. Light forced to use the freeze, and he still gets caught by Sanji. 2-for-1. Liquid wins it.
Oh my goodness. Team Liquid Philippines are still going for it, Dominic. Wait, whoa.
Dominic finds the Unite, and Dominic back it off. Still alive. Edward fight. Time for a goal. Not sure if Edward's ready for this. Go ahead. Another Salmon Force. Liquid holding on to this pressure in the tier 2.
Really spicy there onto that tier 2 turret.
The sheer amount of health and resources that Liquid has. If this game was a little bit closer, Arora would have gotten an even bigger punish. But good thing they were able to balance things out with the light hook and flicker plus the bite. But Liquid are still sticking to their main idea, their main strategy. Play for the Harith, play around the Harith, and this time what they're doing much better now compared to their previous series up against Arora earlier in this playoff was that they're marking the other points of entry. There's always at least 1 or 2 members of Team Liquid Philippines off to the side while the 3-man main fight is happening with the other members of Arora.
And that's the problem here. Light, he's trying to land these hooks, but even if you blow someone, it's not a guaranteed kill. The kill's going to be used by JP. Lord's going to go for a little bit of a reset. Demon Kite's still up there with Carl. Look at the zoning. This is the potential we're talking about. JP's going to pop the revival.
Sanford very low. Sanford on the 2 call. He secures it. By Bayue. This is a good position for that ult, but there's not enough space for Aurora to take advantage of that. Liquid win. Lord for free.
Again, Sanford and JP able to provide such a big front here.
Yeah, they have fantastic item builds here. Already full build the anti-Cuirass for the Turismo. While JP, I love that he went for Dreadnought armor, didn't full build that, and then went straight for the Athena shield. That's why he can just stand in front of Arora right now and act as the secondary Turismo. While Sanford's also the secondary Gacha. The interplay between the Roman EXP of Liquid is what's giving Arora so much difficulty. Because they're both too tanky.
Yeah, this is what we were saying earlier, UA is going to be a big part of that damage profile on the Farsa, and Domenkite's going to have to get there on this Granger. And it's been solved by Tlph, at least for now. They still maintain this lead. They're going to have to set things up here, deal with this Lord that's pushing up on the top side. They'll most likely lose that tier 2 turret. But now for Arora, what can they do here on the defense? What are they capable of turning around to get this game in their favor as they face down that 6K deficit?
Well, if they have the reach, this is the perfect defense comp that Arora has. If Liquid decide to throw bodies and mess up, it's going to be dangerous. They forced the flicker out of Domenkite, so let's see if Liquid will force any issue. But the thing is, there's no minion waves at mid, but they might try to play through the Lord. The minion wave at bot not going to be enough, but they can't risk it at this point. Again, they have the Farsa, the Granger, which is already up to a Malefic Roar, so they have to be careful.
Dominicite was fighting for his life. They will save this tier 2 in mid, but at 12 minutes, Holy Shields just retract anyways. Aurora does well to defend against that first Lord.
It's a bit tough too, because when you get to this point of the game, you're really thinking, Aurora, how do they turn it around? Might be it's that next Lord, but they have to figure out the puzzle here, man. The puzzle is Tlph's objective fighting. That box, literally the box they're able to set up with the RWM is, I feel like, problem number 2. Problem number 1 is getting past JP and Sanford, setting things up before they even get a chance to get in that range. So the job for Arora is even more difficult. I mean, even Demon Kite can sit in front of that all day he wants, but the rest of the team can't join him and he's zoned out, he's going to continue to die like he has.
Yeah, already up to the Magic Lantern after the glowing wand for that Eve. You see the Lapu-Lapu and Frederick both had to build Radiant armors. Waiting on, I wouldn't be surprised if that'll also be a Radiant armor for Light later on. Because right now, the magic damage brought out by the three heroes on the side of Liquid, the Eve, the Gatot, and the Harith, it's what's stopping Arora from being able to fight comfortably. They played around the pick-off style roamer up against a roamer in the Gatot Gacha who can just stand, front, hold, use their Revitalize. That reapplies the pressure now to Demon Kite, which, again, needs time. But then he couldn't get that time because he also had to act as a secondary frontliner for the team. So it was a risk that Light ended up with Franco. Let's see if Arora can somehow miraculously turn it around. See Albert for Dominic.
There we go. They go ahead and pull up the Lord. Carl's going to show himself up here. I'm not sure Arora is going to be able to do anything.
The flicker in by Light, the bite down, what's the winner's launcher? Sanji swiping away, down goes Demon Kite. Light goes as well, it's a little too much. That 7K gold lead, JP closing up the exit on Edward. Oh, changing fights and triple kill for Edward. Liquid let go of the Lord to take care of that purple, but the cavalry continue to stop forward.
That is economy dip at its finest showing. They just have too many items, too much damage. Arora will have to play through the defense in base, and this will be Liquid trying not to mess up winning this game. Forced out the flicker from Sanji, though.
Yeah, you got to flicker out, but
I think that's worth it.
Yeah.
it's worth it away, but man, Sanji has had a great game of just, I'm going to chill in the back, set up my RWM, and the rest of everybody else will go ahead and shine off with that. Again, they have had such a difficult time playing against that box.
Yeah. You see, up to a Divine Glaive already for this even. I'm wondering, why didn't you build the Divine Glaive rush? They already felt this deficit very quickly. He still went for the Blood Wings. Yes, he's an important part of the lineup, but at this point, you're going to have to accept that you need that magic penetration right away to sort of smoothen things out a little bit more for your team.
Crazy thing about it, too, is Oheb's a big problem for Arora. They've had no answer to it, and he's just been able to go Zombie Force all over the place. They're going to go ahead and push it into the space. Lord's going to march up. They drop the RWM.
AOG with the tail end of that RWM takes down Light. Demon Kite and Edward are holding the ground, but Liquid have already broken in. Lord here at an eighth of its health. Arora just wailing away. Liquid happy with what they got. They're inside the base.
Yeah, good discipline, and good thing Team Liquid Philippines didn't force anything more. They're already happy with the kill on the line, which now, again, reapplies even an insane amount of pressure on this Lapu-Lapu and Frederick. Liquid can continue this, though.
In they go. That is a back line. Sideline. Edward cannot stand. Right in front of Liquid. Sanford goes. JB gets the mortality pop. Can he get out of here? Turret shots. AOG out. They saved one body.
I feel like TLPH kind of messed that up. You know, they decided to go for the mid-turret, even with a lead. I think they're surprised, even with this economic lead, that they still got punished in that sense.
Yeah, a bit of an overheat. Again, one of the tendencies of Team Liquid Philippines, if they have a big lead, they're willing to take very risky fights, even when there's one last base turret that they have to go through the lane that they're trying to answer. Sanford committed the flicker penalty zone. Would have been great if the turret was gone. But Arora also has really good wave clear at this point. Yes, there's a deficit, but they're beyond 40k plus. That means they can clear waves very quick. Team Liquid need to respect that, unless Arora turn things around again very late into the game. Something we already saw from them earlier this playoffs.
Sandwich.
Carl's easy. Rolling out. Catches one. AOG. That gave me the flicker from Dominic Kite. And of course, a few salvos from Dominic and you. And JP fights it. DK for the dad.
They went for a play. They scouted Arora out, but still they only end up trading the 1-for-1. Lord's going to come up here in a couple seconds, though, so they'll make their way.
Yeah, but that's hella worth it, because now it's about to spawn, and by the time the Lord goes down, Demon Kite wouldn't have even spawned yet, because Liquid can blitz this comfortably.
They're going to have to go ahead and secure this. Edward Light, are they going to try to delay this? I don't think they're going to be able to do much off of this. Supplies are going to face them down. Edward, he'll just say hi to TLPH. They'll get back to base. Demon Kite will be up for the defense. And we'll see TLPH approach the base, try to get the last two base turrets down, potentially ending the game.
Rora stopped the bleeding.
Yeah.
So this is comeback territory. We've seen him do it from 13,500 from the same damn team in the upper bracket finals.
Yeah, Liquid has this weird tendency in season 16. I think only around a 30 or 40% win rate, somewhere around that realm when the game goes past 18 minutes. My challenge for Liquid is for them to end it here, lest Arora turn things around again and start off this best of 7 with a massive turnaround win.
See if they can do it here. Lord approaching on top. Tlph knocking at the base doors here, bottom and mid. Domikai sold his boots. He's got a winner's crown. He knows he's an integral part of this success on this defense. Lord's going to be worked on. Here's Tlph.
AOG, Rora disperses. Lord now underneath turret range. Rora takes care of it. Liquid move on to that mid lane. Sanji with the real collection, the hook by life. JP gets that turret down. Less damage coming in. Down goes Sanji. Rora collapsed on the Liquid. Edward falls after he used that flicker. Rora still in it.
Rora defends. We said that they have great clear, they have great high ground defense. They only lost Edward, but they stay in the game.
Yeah, they're managing the minion waves very well. Every time Liquid want to get close to ending things, all of that just for one turret. So now they have to watch out for the fact that Domikai went for the Winter Crown. He can buy into immortalities later on. Now there's a Divine Glaive and Magic Lantern for UA, which is why minion waves are getting cleared very fast alongside the fact that they have items already on this Granger. The Queen's Wings on that Lapu Lapu, they got that earlier. But the big item pickup, and which is why Liquid now have to be super careful, is that Demon Kite doesn't care if he's the first target. He already has the Guardian Helmet. He buys so much time every time.
And looking at the KDAs on Edward and Demon Guy, and hell, you get lump of blind in there too. It's diminishing returns. These heroes haven't got kills, so Liquid in turn are getting less economy on the clapback, and we're approaching a point where economy rarely matters anymore. So they can just keep throwing bodies too. Rora have found a way to play Liquid's game.
It's going to come down to the objective fight here, and again, we're looking to see if Arora can actually have the fight that they want. They've been leading towards light to go ahead and get the hook, to make a play there.
Yeah.
But they might just have to full on decide that we got to go ahead and contest against Tlph for this next Lord coming up in less than 30.
I think the main line of communication now has to be San. It has to be Sanji and Sanford. When Sanji wants to drop down the real world manipulation, Sanford has to be ready to look for Yue. Because the reason why Sanji got taken out in the last siege was that he dropped down the RWM, initiated, but Yue was free to be able to help reach Sanji, and those extra feathered airstrikes and eventually the cleanup by Arora was what took him down. So the Charisma and the Eve have to come together, work together, and sync their ultimates so that Sanji will be safe. And even if Edward dives him, there won't be a clapback from Arora.
There we go. Lord's up to ball. Close to 20-minute mark here. Tlph still maintaining the lead that they have. They'll grab the buffs, give it over to Oheb as he grabs the purple and then the orange.
Oh, man.
Look at the positioning here, too, for Tlph. They know they don't have to rush this. They can play with some of the advantage that they have.
Yeah, sad sword for Domikai, and that's bad news for Team Liquid Philippines. That BOD already locked in for him. Yikes. Athena shield readjustment there through the Winter Crown. Arora, they can contest this, and Liquid, hey, if they mess up, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah, they're gonna go for this. Oh, in trouble. There's the hook.
We'll go to JP. Light does not want to fight. And we see Edward backing off, not committing any wounds just yet. Ward at an eighth of its health.
Demon Guy's trying to get there, but he's trapped.
Sanji with a real manipulation, swiping left, swiping right. Oh, Light, this Demon Kite goes down. The fight down by Light, canceled, and backing off. He uses Flicker. He goes down. Shell gets another. Cooper on the trade. In comes Edward, holding the line. Rora does not like the situation they're in.
Oh, Sandy bought the immortality. JP as well. They jumbled around, and now it's only two on the defense.
No Lord taken, but the Lord inside the face. Down goes Yue. There's minions for Liquid. The cavalry start off strong. 1-0.
JP Mankind, the AOG, the taunt, it delayed the damage out of Arora just enough for Liquid and OF to pop off and win.
A showcase of great skill here by both, but Tlph coming out stronger in game one. And a phenomenal game for OF. 12-0-6, I think he was on the hair. Let's throw it over to a panel to break it down.
Okay. We got a game. That was very, very decisive. decisive from Team Liquid Philippines here, looking so strong right off the bat.
I think that was enough of a reminder of the Harris ban and why it has always been a ban for majority of the playoff and the regular season too, after people have finally accepted the fact that you cannot let certain players get their hands on this hero.
Exactly.
But it's way more than that, Rocker. We saw just how well the hero synergies were for Liquid and this lineup. And who else did play the Harith in that game?
Of course, your MVP is going to be Oheb for that Harith. Really insane movements. Again, 12-0-6. They tried to Radiant Armor their way through it, figured it out, but it was just not enough.
Especially in that last part where we thought Yue got to fly away to safety, but no! There was enough damage from a single, was that a synchro-fission that came in from Oheb just to take him down? And this guy felt as if he had no struggles whatsoever from the laning phase all the way to the team fights. It was just, everything was on his terms. Like, if he wanted to use the Zaman Force, he had all the freedom to do so. He was never forced to use it just to get out, just to fight back defensively. And Liquid were so effective in ensuring that he was able to do his job.
Yeah, overall, it feels like it's because of that super beefy front line, the big beefy boys,
The big
right in front of you. Look at the front. It's Carl T on the Baksha. It's Sanford on it. Even Sanford's on a Drizzler, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
With JP on the Gaton already. How do you go wrong with that front line? All you got to do is balance out your DPS from the back, and you should be golden. And that's exactly what we saw here being done by Oheb as well as Sanji.
Yeah, I'm still not over that. The beefy big beefy boys.
Thank you so much for that, Red Mars Santa Cruz.
Thank you so much for that beautiful line. Because that's exactly what we saw from Liquid. Every single time, Demon Kite even wanted to just walk up front, approach, and actually scout the area, because I think he's the guy who does that best alongside Edward. There could be a quick and immediate turn from Liquid to just answer back, or like pour all of their resources on Demon Kite, because I feel like the way that things turned, and for the longest time, there was a more than at least 5k gold lead that existed between these two teams, and being this very damage-heavy, team-fight-heavy lineup that are, it's such an easy task for them if they wanted to commit, because they have countless ways of just stopping people from running away. The real world being one of those major ways that they always stop Arora from getting to escape.
Yeah, and the ways that they're also stopping Arora from getting those kills. You saw earlier Domingkite basically trying to snipe out Sanji, going into his face, and then being blocked by Carl Tizzy, being blocked by JP.
Yeah.
Amazing play, honestly, and that scored them. That cemented that game for Team Liquid Philippines. Although, mind you, it was a long game. 22 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock.
There were a lot of times where Liquid just wanted to end it. It was very obvious that they wanted to end it, but either Arora found a decent trade in terms of kills. They were able to take, I think one time it was Sanji who they were able to find.
I think they traded Edward or Light for that.
Yeah,
Something like that, right?
so they had like really good clapbacks. So that stopped Liquid from just trying to commit any further into that, because it was very risky in itself against this lineup who I think, in a way, you could also consider to have a lot of beefy front lines and dive, because I think Edward was always trying to go in. He kept going in. He kept using the bravest fighter in. It's just unfortunate that Liquid don't feel the least bit rattled about him doing that, because Sanji can just always pop the real world. He'll have extra shields. OM could just use the Zaman Force. He could reposition away.
And you don't fight inside the Zaman Force.
You don't.
Yeah, you just
Nowhere.
don't.
Even the real world, you don't fight inside the real world
That's true,
manipulation.
that's true.
And you can't even jump on Sanford, JP, nor Carl, because they don't care.
They had a lot of land-based stuff. They had shielding. I mean, Oheb also shields himself.
Yes.
You know, Eve also shields herself. So at this point, what do you actually do if you're Demon Kite? You're kind of stuck between a rock and shielded people.
Yeah.
So what's the plan here going to be? The plan was to try to buy some time, get Domingkite into a good position, but OHEP was just leaps and bounds ahead of him already.
Mind you, it was the Fredrin that they decided to first pick.
That was first pick.
That was the priority for Aurora in this draft.
Exactly.
So they wanted to play around that. They wanted to actually go for this utility lineup, but they probably didn't see this coming. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think the Harrods been gone for a bit too long that maybe not even Aurora were aware that it was actually available.
Like we
as an
forgot
option.
that it's a thing.
Yeah, I'm glad I actually just out of the blue suddenly recalled that, yeah, the doming double is something they should pay attention to, especially if he gets the Harrod, but he's not gonna get the Harrod, right?
That's absolutely.
And then the Harrod was open.
But the thing is, they had the option.
The option, yes.
They first picked the Frederick. Now, why they did that, I will have to really double check. Sometimes it's basically denying Carl Tizzy that Frederick. He is the Frederick man. I think it's the second most used hero of all time, maybe.
Yeah,
So,
it's nice to see him on the backtrack again. I'll say that because the way he played this backtrack was just so precise. You saw how that one moment up top, he just kept chasing after Dominic.
he's circling around it, and hopefully that's gonna be caught by our solo analyst. Let's throw it over to you.
Magandang ipinakita ng dalawang teams natin in game number 1. Kahit yung DLPH ay lamang na lamang nasa early game, mukhang nababawi pa rin ito ng Aurora because of their plays. May mga hero plays na nakita tayo in specific players, but in the end, it's DLPH na nanaig. Meron lang akong gustong ipakita sa inyo dito na stat line between the two teams. Etong Aurora at DLPH ay merong pattern na mas magandang malaman natin kung ano nga ba yung mga nagpapalakas sa kanila. Ang Aurora, interestingly, sila dito sa buong liga natin ang nananalo kapag nakuha nila yung first turtle. For example, every time na makakuha ng Aurora, 91.67% chance na maipanalo nila yung laban as long as makuha nila yung first turtle. And kung sakaling first lord naman ang usapan, 96% para sa TNPH. Ganon kataas, ganon ka guaranteed na mananalo ang dalawang teams natin kapag nauna sila sa mga objectives. Now, when it comes to first turret and first inner turret, kapag nauunahan to ng TLPH sa pag-siege, ganun din, lagpas 90% ang kanilang chance ang manalo sa laban. So, ibig sabihin, hindi mo talaga pwedeng bigyan ng confidence ang TLPH when it comes to taking your turrets. Napakahirap talunin ng TLPH kapag ganito na yung pangyayari. Now, interestingly, pagdating sa first evolved lord, ito yung malayo na yung naaabot. 100% chance kapag nahawakan ng Aurora ang unang evolved lord ng laro. Pwede mo nang itigil, pwede mo nang ipos, pwede ka nang kumain ng masasarap na pagkain with Nor kasi masasabi mo na Aurora na yung mananalo. Siyempre, sama na natin dyan ang Team Falcons na merong magandang resurgence dun sa dulo ng ating regular season. Ito yung mga stats na napaka-importanting bantayan sa mga teams. Kaya naman laging sinasama sa keys to victory natin na huwag pa-earlyhin ang Aurora, huwag pa-earlyhin ang TLPH. Ganun ang nangyayari. Nakukuha nila ang guaranteed na mga pagkakapanalo. Dahil nga naman sa mga nalalaman nating panibagong kaalaman sa dalawang teams natin, masarap talaga ang panalo. Sa sarap panalo with Nor, masarap din ang magkaroon ng bagong kaalaman. This is the more you know. And hopefully ay meron tayong bagong natutunan yan. Abangan natin sa dalawang teams na to. Sino nga ba ang makakauna? Ngayon, balik na tayo sa ating laban. Back to the panel.
Thank you so much to Mr. Wolf.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Yes.
That's amazing. And it's actually really good to know that apparently
really good to know.
Yeah, it's really good to know that apparently Aurora wins 90% of the games that they get that first turn. That's very good information. Didn't happen here as well.
Yeah. I wonder how much this is gonna change, especially the next few drafts, specifically bans. Because that's what really surprised me, the bans.
Let's have a look and see later for that. But before we get started, here's one of your favorite segments. It's the Pink Test.
Tsaka sa mga pumunta sa venue, gagalingan namin. Paisa nyo na kami.
Ano message mo sa mga fans nun?
Message sa mga fans, thank you sa lahat ng sumusuporta. bibigyan ng gas namin and abangan nyo kami sa Jakarta. Grabe yung Aurora guys, hindi pa kami makaisa sa Aurora. Ito na inaantay.
Pagka sa amin, maraming salamat na ulit sa TNPH. Relax sa atin. Sana makahula. And kita ang 7 guys. The final it's gonna be OHEL versus Dominic Kai. MG World Champion.
Thank you, Jake.
EWC 2025 champion versus Smiling Demon versus the GOAT. And then Mr. Consistent himself, Edward versus the Apex Predator, Sanford.
Message ko sa mga supporter ng Aurora, maraming salamat sa inyo. Then, ang message ko naman sa TLPH, good luck.
See you in 8.
See you M2 Ju.
M2 Junior. Sampai jumpa. Sampai jumpa.
Sampai jumpa di M7.
Sampai jumpa di M7.
See you sa M7. Woo! Let's go.
Wow, a 5-man team test.
Yeah. So first things first.
Fun.
It was a 5-man thing test. Second, there were a lot of things I could not understand.
Yeah, basically though, they're very happy to be here,
Yeah.
and we'll see them in M7.
I wonder how the entire world or internet reacted to finalizing our 2 Philippine representatives.
I've actually been trying to scroll through yesterday. I think everyone was tired, but a lot of them feel very happy to see these 2
What about
teams.
the other regions?
I'm pretty sure they're just sitting in their chairs and just looking up and like.
We can confirm that too, you know.
I want to
That's
confirm that.
his theory.
That's my theory. I want to confirm that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Does it feel
You
like
can also share it yourselves because you're probably watching
you're
here,
already
yeah.
chatting, so let us know. I'm gonna read chat in a few moments. A really good treat. We don't really get to read chat a lot. So let's go ahead and try to read chat in a few moments, especially our international viewers. But before that, we have a bit of a treat for you guys. You know that guy who sang earlier? I think we're gonna have a little bit of a chat with him. Throw it over this stage.
Kasama ko nga ngayon ang Sony Music Philippines Rising Star, Ace Valenzuela! Hi, Ace! Welcome to LPL Philippines!
Hi, Almira. Hello, everyone here at MPL Philippines.
Grabe ang raming fans! What was it like to perform in front of MPL crowd? Like, ano ba ang experience mo, lalo na Grand Finals?
Yeah, it was surreal kasi it's my first time to actually perform on a stage like this. And you know, I appreciate all the love and support everyone has been showing to the music and also to all the players right now.
At kinanta mo yung muli kanina. Maraming nakarelate at marami din nag-relapse. Can you tell us more about your music?
Well, my music, ano siya, medyo dreamy in a way and introspective. So you guys can follow me on Spotify, Apple Music. I'll be having a new song actually next month.
Wow! Surprise mo. Surprise mo.
Around November-ish.
Pwede bang konting teaser or...
Title niya, sige sabihin ko na. Title niya, Hindi Mo Alam.
At hindi talaga namin alam.
Hindi, yun talaga yung title niya.
Yun talaga ang title.
Oo, yeah.
Yes, at aabangan namin yan mga super fans. And nandito nga tayo sa Grand Final. Sabi mo kanina naglalaro ka ng Mobile Legends. Sino ang favorite hero?
Pinatry sa akin actually dati. Jungle, Gushon.
Ay, ang hirap doon In fairness, baka may future ka.
Kabaan na kayo dyan, no?
Nandito tayo ngayon in front of the players. Anong gusto mong sabihin sa mga teams na naglalaban-laban ngayon? And good luck message.
To all the teams, to everyone playing right now, always remember why you started. And you know, laban lang. Good luck.
Laban na! I love that! So, before we end this interview, anong gusto mong i-vlog or social media accounts?
Hello, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. My name is Ace Banzuelo. I'm a singer, songwriter, and music producer. You guys can follow me at Ace Banzuelo on Spotify, Apple Music, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'll be having a new song next month. Abangan.
Once again, let's give it up for Ace Valenzuela!
thank you so much, Almira. Man, Ace. We're serenading you, Chad. What's up with that?
No.
What?
That's the song he sang a few moments ago.
That's right.
In case you guys want to check it out, I think it's entitled Muli.
Muli. If you want to relapse really quickly while we're doing the grand finals, go ahead and drop him a search on Spotify.
You can. We've been having guests over for the past couple of days.
A lot of musicians, by the way.
And they've had very different genres.
Yes, we got
Each and every
Novita
time.
yesterday. At first day we had like Bark,
And then we had Unexpected, and then we had...
crazy.
There were a lot of guests that we had. Thank you so much to Sony Music.
Thank you so much. And it's really surprising that so many different kinds of people actually watch MLBB and play MLBB.
Yeah, he was a jungler. He was a Gushon main.
Exactly. We have so many artists that I know, like aside from the ones that were here, like people like like big bands here in the Philippines,
and
like
they
Sponge
play?
Cola,
Oh,
and all
wow.
that. They actually play MLBB like really high level.
I did not expect that.
Yeah. So really super surprised at the same time, very amazed. And we thank each and every one of you, especially you guys in the chat. You guys are always so cool for hanging out with us. So
You guys are so cool.
See, Brigida thinks you guys are cool. So be cool, okay? So we're going to the draft here shortly for game number 2. What are we expecting, Bri? Do we still want to see that Franco make an appearance?
The Franco depends on the lineup, I'd say. Because there was a bit too much dive. It was a bit too overwhelming for the Franco to actually even find the right targets, nor even use the Bloody Hunt onto one, because he'd be always presented with either of those big guys.
That's right. Oh, by the way, Brigida, it certainly says, ang ganda mo.
Wow.
So,
Mas maganda ka.
so we're getting started here, guys. What's the map draw gonna be like? Earlier it was expanding rivers. This time it's broken
walls. And
it's El Neutrales, the map that does not really favor any specific team, I guess.
This would be a much more fun Baksha game.
Why do you think so? Why do you think so?
No, if he had the Baksha again earlier,
It
and
has so many places to roll.
so there's so many places to go. But the Baksha's banned, actually, just as he mentioned it. So again, the Harren is going to be open, but the priority is safe. Fredrin gets picked up by Liquid, so now we can potentially see the Harren in Doming's hands.
That is going to be a treat for sure. They did not hesitate. Brigida went straight for the jugular, as they say, and they know that he can play it very well. So Arora going to be happy to give that over to Doming guy. Now on the jungle side, what do you actually do when Carl TC is so adamant to pick up a Fredrin?
Yeah, I guess similar to what we saw worked well for Liquid earlier. Also denied those really good or high synergy picks for this hero. So the Gatot again, very common response in the red side, gets picked up too. A great deny from JP as well. So now I'm looking at what Liquid will be picking up. So Liquid guys, all the way. Why does it feel like we're just switching lineups?
I know. What the heck? Okay. This is gonna be interesting. Obviously, you have
If this is the
this was a gentleman's agreement, wasn't it? Obviously, they will not have the front line of the Gatot Gacha that is on the side of Arora, so they will have to choose a different one. Chip is not bad here, Bri.
Yeah, even the CC's getting snubbed.
Even the CC is super late on the bans earlier.
Yeah, it's
I think it was blue 4 or blue 5 ban.
yeah, but maybe that's one consideration that we can probably look at for Arora. Do they want to pick up Eva's hero now?
Let's hear from the
Kept
crowd.
getting banned.
Make some
So now
noise
they
for yours
actually
truly.
pay attention to the CC.
Speaking of which,
Finally, we see it now. So far, Aurora's lineup's really looking very stable.
yep.
The XP matchup, and I think it's very common to see the lack of CC anyways. It's just a matter of how you're going to really execute the team fights. So mid lane heroes, we'll be looking at that heading into the second round.
Yes, very heavily here. Obviously,
Aku ya
Sushin
senang.
has not been banned, but also not picked up in the first 3 phases.
Not
What do
even
you think
the
about
QB,
that,
yeah.
right? Sushin is
Sad
being
rises when I give the
completely
word.
ignored. So that's saying something about where the meta is headed here. It's like most of the phases are getting picked up first.
Yeah, and we're not seeing any mid lane bans either. They're going, or they're actually banning out light heroes instead, which is I think also pretty understandable if you want to like secure the amount of room that you want for the Harith right now, because this is already a Lapu Fredrin. So if you put another really annoying frontliner for Liquid, that's gonna be a big headache for Aurora, especially considering that we don't see what Sanji's hero is to just yet. It could be a mid laner that's also very reliant on positioning. And
yeah, it could be a hyper carry mid laner as well, like a Kimmy.
As far as the Kimmy, mentioned it, they're all still open up to this point. But with the Novaria ban, what could they be considering? Okay, I think the common matchup in the mid lane was a Selena
Among the planes exists
Well, that's
the equilibrium,
but they banned
which I was
One of them
made
banned out.
for.
And Selena, by the way, has not really been seen since maybe day 3, I believe, or day 2 of playoffs. So I'm not sure what they're thinking right now here, especially for the mid pick. But I think Aurora needs a bit of a stabilizer as well. Pretty similar to what the Eve was in that game number 1.
That's open. That's still open. If they actually want to consider that. So they go Sicilian.
All right. That's an OG pick for Yue. Definitely wants to play at a very long range. And I think they also want to play a bit of a long game.
Yeah. JP. Looking at what JP still might want to pick up here. If it's the roamer heroes that are still available, the chip Kalea still there, but the AOG, I might not want to pick the chip into this lineup that Aurora has. Kalea again keeps getting snubbed.
Yeah.
Hylos is there.
What is up?
Hylos is there though.
It's a good front line, but I still think the chip is a good pick here.
Payback.
Sarsha's there that you're talking about.
Hilda!
Okay.
But what's the jungler for Aurora?
Oh, they left it for last, actually.
Hayabusa's still there.
I would not mind an assassin jungler in this matchup. I feel like you have to temper that mid game.
But, yeah.
Yeah, Box is not an option at the same time, so we are looking for a possible assassin for me.
I might not feel like it, man.
I cannot believe my ears and my eyes.
Wow, welcome back, Mr. Barrett. Okay.
I would have not expected this to actually come through. What? Barrett. But, and it's not a Barrett's accompanied by any kind of support. There's
That's
no
true.
Matilda.
It's just the Barretts.
It's just the Barretts.
So they're going to go hand in hand with the Katonkachi and try to keep this front line, this back line alive rather. So it is going to be a big question of whether or not Tlph can bypass the Barretts.
And this is so interesting. A Fredrin Barrett's matchup.
What season is this?
What season are we in?
Oh my goodness, this is going to be a treat for the Barrett's mates for sure. But for the meantime, we're going into game number 2. Tlph is ahead. Let's throw it over to our casters.
You know, that's the same question we were asking ourselves here on the desk. I said we're going to go through an evolution of the meta, game to game. Oh yes, what season is this? A Fredrin Bears jungle.
Oh, we are so back. And I bet you guys too started to miss home, huh? Because you're a bit of a revisit to Daytona's welcome. You miss Florida, huh?
That's
Okay. Behind the scenes, we were saying, okay, this has to be like a tie, or maybe even an alpha. I like the Barretts. But this means that Aurora are playing around their magic damage. They're playing around the Sicilian and the Harith. It makes a lot of sense that they'll both be getting the discounts so that they can get their items quicker. But Liquid, just need to put a bunch of radiant armor, and then they'll be okay. Let's see if Aurora can make this work. This is a very high risk, but Yue making it look rewarding because he is undefeated with the Sicilian.
And this is once again a specialty Harith in the hands of Tlph. So many teams in the regular season have done 100 different things to ban out this Harith, and here he ends up with it.
And that's why I'd say this is looking good. Like, if you go down to the draft, I don't know what people say about the Barretts now. Even Kite, but this is already good, solid pick, U-Wave and Dominic.
That's the thing. It's so brand new and so old at the same time that people don't have strong opinions about it.
You're not sure, you know? You're like, is it still good or not?
Yo, man, if it wins, everyone's gonna say, wow, what a brilliant pick. If it loses, ooh, like, why'd you pick Amaras? But, no, personally, I like it. So, let's see, as we're looking at the action of the big screen, from time to time, I encourage our viewers to look at the map, see how the laning is actually going between Dominic and Nohem, because this is what's gonna be one of the main determining factors whether or not Aurora will make this Barrett in the jungle work. How well can Dominic actually manage Ohem in the gold lane and win in the gold lane?
Turtles up. Something already happening here. Even guys will start this up, but now it's probably easy to fight for him to come in.
Here's the 40. Almost gets big and hit with that deadness welcome. But Demon Guy so with the retribution secures that first turtle for the northern light. Sanford very low. Lights on him, gets that con. Oh, and there's right by Sanji. A lot of damage on the Edward, popping that vengeance.
Oh, now they're still trying to get away. Edward, he falls.
Output JJ likes it. Light standing middle of 3. Little low, pops that concussive blast. Is so expert. Not enough to displace Carl Teasy. Aurora gets the wounds. Happy with that one objective.
Okay, I think the Rubies were able to balance things out with the kill, but yeah, Demon Kite actually getting the Retribution Battle win against Carl Teasy there. I think that he was able to. But you see now, Liquid, even though they lose a turtle, they're not afraid to fight and re-engage. So Aurora, especially Light, needs to keep that in mind. UN needs to keep that in mind. And JP's still super annoying for Aurora to deal with. His positioning is at the Hilda is one of the reasons why they were able to get that kill eventually on Edward.
All right, take a look at the items too. You saw that you have about a couple hundred gold in favor for Dominic Kite in the lane you mentioned. Oh, keep an eye on that. Now, look at this. Again, there's the pressure you were talking about.
Yeah, up top, OM got pushed back into the tower, and Dominic Kite was actually recall spamming in front of him, so we weren't able to see that in the big screen. But again, I encourage y'all, look at the map from time to time. Now, okay, good thing JP was able to. I feel like after that, that's when OHEB told JP, hey, I need your help here, join out. So now you see Aurora, especially like trying to get Bishop in the jungle. I'm pretty sure Dominic knows that JP's hanging around here.
Fine. Light on his tail, flushes him out almost seemingly with instant reaction. Yeah. And they'll serve up this gold grab over to Dominic Kite. Very good start for that.
Good block there, actually, by Light to stop OHEB from getting that. But then also, OHEB got a fat wave. Still going to be really close. No team can find a big win in the gold lane just yet. The EXP lane, it's going to be another dead lane experience. Unless one of them actually really messes up. Turtle looks good for Aurora.
They're going to start it up. Easy is part of this. They might have to just force this fight. There's another airstrike.
Sanji here. Blasted away, cancels it. Actually secures the turtle. How'd that happen? And now he was blasted away with those bad impacts. And Demon Knight, no follow through from the rest of the Northern Lights. All Liquid.
Light's in trouble. He's going to go down here too. It's 1v4 Light. He'll fall. JP picking that one up.
Again, JP on the Hilda. Plus, the fact that OHEB got the miraculous last hit using the Death Sonata, that was all Liquid. And you see again the presence of this Hilda every time showing off in the back. Demon Kite was left alone there because Hilda just decided to go after you and nothing.
I'm thinking when JP's utility will expire. And if that'll ever happen, oh my God! Dominic Kite with Sanji and JP alone. OHEB not even part of the action. Takes him out. What was he thinking?
I mean, he's been pressed off of his tier 1 turret, zoned out completely for a while now, and then he ends up going down.
JP's locked in. JP is so locked in right now. So are everyone else inside of Liquid. Massive lead. Now he's the one flexing. This Hilda, again, dude, there's so many problems every team fight. It seems like, yeah, they're looking around the objective, but you was always getting left behind. There needs to be a fix in the comms. Watch out for the Hilda first. Accept that maybe going all in, making sure getting the turtle won't be the right play. Slowly go for heroes.
Lane Edward, off the vengeance.
Wizard draft, not enough to take him down. He's all right. Again, a dead lane. And this is, weirdly enough, good news for Aurora. If at least one of your lanes isn't getting beat down.
Yeah.
Still time to build up Yue. And in my humble opinion, I think Yue is more of a power player now than he was in game one. So at least if Arora can extend this to past the 16, 18-minute mark, they should be in a better shape compared to game one.
Yeah, we've seen that Sicilian against UA before. It's been quite deadly, especially in the late game. Now leading into this next objective, Turtles. They can't let that turtle be secured by Oheb again. I don't know if that was the Destinata or the Rhapsody that got it, but Carl Easy setting this one up.
That is about to throw in Sanford over into that wall. Salmon force by Dominkai. 40 balls are going to kill the UA. JP going to be up next. Sanji under back. AOG by Light cancels it. Sanji with the flicker. Razor Rat taking Dominkai down. Carl. Down goes JP. Edward taking care of business.
Good fight for Aurora. Edward jumping back up on the top side. He keeps Oheb out. But a good fight there.
Jinjik has had it.
Yeah, perfect team fight split, of course. Edward not giving up on the kill meant that they get a little bit more resources. Carl Teasy, a little shaky there. It looked like he would have gotten punished big time by Aurora, but Sanji eventually came back to back him up. So now Aurora can continue playing around that idea. See, they were going slowly, just a little bit for the heroes. Demonkind was able to get that fight down onto Sanford. And then if they can continue to make sure that Sanford's the one taking the brunt of the damage initially, then they should be okay.
Sanford has been doing well to keep Edward down, but Edward rotates out. And I think that's a small victory for Aurora. That bottom lane, that extra lane, can take care of itself. Now we're going into Dominkai is ready. And I'm hoping that's where Aurora is right now, because if you're waiting for US still, that's about 6-7 minutes out from now. Like, that is a non-starter if you want to fight now for this first war.
At least in that case that UA got a kill out of that, kind of help him scale up a little bit quicker here. They did go ahead and do that lane swap. Dominkai down on this bottom side. Trying to press this in, but he's going to have a whole lot to deal with. So can't exactly push the lane in, or push that turret down, and they're going to lead into this next floor when it does come up. So it's up to Aurora to kind of decide on how they want to play this out.
Yep, Sanji is staying way back. He's actually floating around the orange side buff of Aurora. I think he's providing space for Oheb, but Sanford's in trouble.
Right with a good seal, forcing Sanford out of defensive range. That's the first turn for Aurora.
I guess I said they want to decide what to do. They got the turret.
Yeah, I think that was the info. The fact that Sanji got into the orange buff without any vision at all, I think Liquid decided to just call, hey, I think all of them are down there already in the lower portion of the map. So good thing Sanford was able to get away in time. And when you're going to look at Barrett's and the Lapu Lapu, you're waiting for the timing of the Brave Spider, the Raging Slashes, the CC immunity, a little bit of the Lapu Lapu should help avoid the initial wait.
Oh, this is a fight. They're breaking out. Carl Deasy, the Vanguard for Liquid. It's a non-starter. Aurora has to let go. They have to reconsider their options here.
I was kind of surprised too that they were still up front, especially with Dominkai really trying to going. Reaching down here, but now Edward's being
Oh my God, Edwards got 3 on him. The dead is welcome through the wall. The vengeance of swiping away Sanji with the salvos. And Carl Teasy survives. Light falls into the back line. 40 against 3. Aurora can't fight with this front line wrecking lineup.
Liquid, they woke up good today. The positioning of Sansan, the vengeance came in actually perfectly for Edward. I thought they'd be able to get the punish, but the fact that Sachi, right at the very furthest edge of his feathered airstrike, still got the kill onto Edward. And then eventually Sanford coming through, readjusting so that the other members of Aurora can clap back. This is why we were a little bit skeptical towards the Barracks. Was good, but still with a healthy hint of skepticism. Now as we look at the items, on the way to the Dominance Ice for the Lapu Lapu, already up to the Malefic Roar for the Granger. Still very far away from the Holy Crystal for Dominkai's Harith, and that's the item that they need right now.
It's crazy how it fell apart so fast for Dominkai. He was winning that lane against Oheb, and then all of a sudden he's down to like 2,000 gold.
It's that bad. Yeah, it's that bad.
He's got to go heal back up. I don't know, he's having a good time.
It was a big fight. Aurora just doesn't have enough utility. I don't know how Liquid's making this work, because you look at their lineup, the only real AoE CC they have is Sanford and Carl Deasy. JP makes it look like he has it, but he's using damage as a threat to make up for that.
Oh, conceal?
JP looking to go hunting, jumps onto Yue, forcing that Bat's Beast to take care of the Lord, and here comes Carl Deasy. Another strike by Sanji. Surgical approach to taking that tier 2.
Yeah. Turret. The fact that JP changed the trajectory of his walk, he was the second skill, I believe, on the min opinion, making it look like where Yue brought down his Bat's claws, the Sanguine claws, would have caught JP. But JP was like, nope, you know that I think I'm going there, so I'm going to go this way instead, setting up with a feathered airstrike for Sanji, stopping any responses from Rora.
They're playing around with the utility that they have very well for Tlph. They find themselves now with a good lead. 6K up, they put some pressure on the purple, and they got it as well. So Demon Kite, no buff here. Definitely having a hard time. I mean, it's not just that Barrett's kind of slow to move on his own, but realistically, you're able to be kind of that front line, but then you also put yourself in the position to get the Daytona as well as the Mob and try to make that work, but it's not working the way they want to. And I feel like a big part of that is because, again, it's Domenkai that's taken a lot of damage before a big fight even breaks out. So then his positioning is then at risk of that.
Yep, the heyday of Baratz, there would always be a hero like a Matilda or a Rafaela to help in the positioning. Here, he's basically raw dogging that Nuzlocke. He's trying to get it in when Liquid knows it. There it is. We just have to sidestep. We just have to move over here.
It's a brute force Barretts. The fact that you have to revitalize on the Gacha, theoretically, if everyone's just all clubbed up, it'll work well for him. But wait, whoa.
See, even this they can't deal with. A Fraser's draft right in your face. In comes 40. Sanji with the better airstrike, forcing his Alpha Force away from Demon Kite. Domenkai too, but he's down. And these three members of Liquid are running through him. Down goes Light. Down goes Demon Kite. And there's nothing Rora can do.
Tlph saw the window and they took it.
And they're already in the base, not even taking down the inhibitor. This is a straight on stampede. Edward, the only one left, push out of his own base. This is miserable.
They're quite low. They'll clear out the minions. Edward, he's gonna fight.
Edward,
Why?
not gonna survive against 5, not like this.
He bought enough time though. The turret still stands. But the Lord is up, so they'll reset. They'll make their way for the Lord.
A lot of questionable decisions for the side of Aurora. I know for them it's like, hey, cool, we got Carl Teasy, but there's a massive deficit for you. If Carl Teasy shows himself in the map like that, there's always at least going to be 1 or 2 members of Liquid nearby ready to swoop in. That's a Brethren. He can't take that damage. Questionable for Aurora.
He wants to take that damage.
Yeah.
And in the wake of that stumble, again, a wipeout. Aurora, see another Lord go for the Liquid.
I'd say you see the value of him. That's what Fredrin is. And with this, the Lord is secure. They'll get ready to go ahead and take down some of these base turrets of Aurora. Again, the lead is ballooned to 10,000. And honestly, Aurora has not had an answer for anything so far through this game. Even when you look at, okay, what the late game insurance policy is at Yue. Yue isn't there. I mean, he's got what, 2 items he's working on next. Going finally gets his holy crystal, man. So he should be able to at least clear the waves with that.
Gak boleh mamar tuh. Karena boleh, cukup nih kelambinya. Kita ambil obat lek wis anu lerem.
Oh, hold on. They do get a base turret. Base turret goes down. The Lord is still being worked on here. Lord is able to clear it out. 12,000 and now for Tlph. They take the discipline route. They end up taking out this mid turret next. Tier 2 is going to be the focus here. Sanford jumps forward. Down forward. Desperately trying to hold on to these turrets, but look at the feathered airstrike damage.
Yeah,
Too much.
Too much. Aurora now have to pull a miracle, and at this point, Liquid, it night and day performance from what we saw from the last time we saw Liquid and Aurora go up against each other. Remember, going into this, Liquid has not beaten Aurora in a series. Now, 2 games in the best of 7 grand finals, they are just dominating Aurora.
Demon Kite is haunted here. Energy eruption working out. Over to you, son. He gets blasted. Wow, he's going to be up next. Tetanus welcome thrown into the wall. Look at Light from the back line. Edward, too. The Vengeance pop. The AOG catches him. In comes Edward. Down goes Carl Teasy. Where did this come from? JP getting chased down by Edward. Down goes Demon Kite. Domenkai looking to serve vengeance for his fallen brother. Edward hunting JP down. Broken wall working out for him. 3 for 1. Ohem, former brothers, agents, now turned rivals. Ohem wins.
And a back and forth. And it erupts here in the arena, but might have found a little bit of life in that exchange.
100%. I'm not completely sure if it was the missile expert that brought Sanji in a very weird spot.
Didn't expect that.
Did not expect. He was not supposed to be there that close. Light and Edward came in perfectly for the gang, but they could not get Oheb comfortably. JP was spacing out very well for Oheb, but then Oheb eventually got that kill onto Edward after the clapback. Liquid now, I think that was a warning shot. Arora are definitely back in this, while Liquid still holds a comfortable lead. Remember, there is already a Holy Crystal on that Harith for Dominkite.
Looks like TLPH will still respect what Aurora is able to do. They'll let Demonkite go in and start that Lord. They're fighting for position here. Look at JP's positioning, though. Keep an eye on him. Lord less than half health. The Feather Airstrike comes down.
It's out of force fight. Dominkite. He's got Sanford trained on him. Dominkite very low. Down goes Edward. Oh, it gets another cook. Easy taking out the equation. Lights are double kill. 40. Very low. 7 in mortality. Oheb wailing away. Dominkite. Yue and Demonkite cutting their losses. No retribution for Liquid.
It's on the gold laners now. And I think Carl TZ needs to understand, like, with the damage already on that Harith, he can't be like the main front guy. But I think Liquid decided to commit that turn. They decided to go call for the hero instead. And now you see some very classic echo shenanigans of where Sanji is right now, very deep in. My question is, how long is he going to hold that bush? Because the last time we saw something like this, it was held for like, what, 4 or 5 minutes all those years ago.
Yeah, and not only that, but Leo mentioned this earlier on. Especially with UA on the Sicilian here, he's going to need plenty of time. Well, look at this, 313 stacks, almost at the 18-minute mark. That's why we're seeing the impacts of those bad impacts now.
God, look at this. Kill. 1 kill away from half stacks. 70 on the Sky Piercer. That means he's been getting all of his kills off after he got the Sky Piercer.
Oh, yeah.
Pure value.
Yeah, so even though Aurora is fighting very well, Oheb's not dying. And now the pressure is on the Dominkite and Oheb. Yeah, it's really on them right after now. It's not. Oh.
Look at the Feather Strike. Zoning Yue out.
Look her down, too.
JP as well.
Liquid cannot blitz this. They have to wait for the Feather Airstrike to come back.
Yeah, they're going to need that. And it was Oheb that grabbed that from Aurora's side and half health here.
Man-to-man defense like JP keeping Yue on his Lord. Out of them himself, Sanford with Brave Spider. South of force fight. Dominkite, they're forcing down the Lord. Oheb secures. Immortality off of Sanford. Down goes Domink.
Domink's gone, and Edward's going to fall as well.
ALG by Light does not find JP. The taunt on the Demonkite. This is close to over. Nothing for Aurora on the way. Now goes Sanji. Can Light do it? Goes the flicker from Daddy JP.
Oheb's there, he's looking for more. He takes out another, and Oheb will get another. It's a wipeout.
Liquid continue their momentum. 2-0.
You see the high bar. Oheb stood up immediately. Sanji and Oheb on point. The man-to-man defense from JP. Liquid do not want to let go of the hopes of the Golden Road.
Oheb, back-to-back games. Phenomenal. Locked in there. Comes in, cleans up. And JP as well, man. We got to throw it over the panel to break this one down.
And that is an unofficial savage for Oheb. Look at that. Like you mentioned this earlier, man. I've never seen Oheb this insane before.
I've never seen him this angry. Man, you could feel the emotions in his gameplay. And for this entire regular season, I just saw him as a more low-key, does the job, but it's not that flashy kind of gold laner as what we probably are so used to seeing him. But now, it's different. Game number 1, he had Harry. He was just unstoppable. But who made all of this possible in the first place?
Of course, it is Daddy JP there going crazy with the Hilda actually in the first few minutes of the game. Wow, he was non-stop here. That's
Yeah, he never let go of the
Ulysses, man. Wow.
So you could see
Gotta make those first hits count, right? Yeah.
and why he was so confident in burning the flicker just to chase after kills and pick it up for himself. And I think he did get a couple of kills in turn.
Right. But I saw a few he hesitated to swing the axe.
Yeah,
He was trying to get the kill.
midway, yeah.
But Carl Tizzy was about to die in that specific moment, so he said, you know what, I'll take it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And he did the job that was necessary. Team Liquid to really, again, stampede their way to victory.
I just want to say, if you missed the pre-show, this guy has been always undefeated in the grand finals. And how is Liquid playing this good against Aurora, who again they never beat in the regular season?
Yeah, he's like a grand final savant. He's a maestro here. As you can see how he is enabled this kind of movement coming in from Team Liquid Philippines. The big pincer maneuvers, they have so much confidence going into the team fight. Again, because of very reliable backline support from OM as well as, of course, their front line, which is crazy on that Brethren. We're seeing the reason why Carl Tizzy really is a Brethren man so far for FPLPH.
Yeah, and honestly, it was also partly Aurora, and as our casters mentioned, making some really questionable decisions throughout.
That's right.
Not as clean as the Aurora we're so used to seeing.
I'm looking forward to Aurora cleaning it up, especially for game number 3. Because if this keeps going, we might go early in the day. I don't want to see that. Everyone's guessing a game 7 here.
I don't want to see that too. And maybe we can also kind of recall how we all felt about the Barretts in the start, in the beginning, when it was revealed to us in the draft, because there were a lot of, I don't know, uncertainty around it. There was a lot of uncertainty around the Barretts pick. Aside the fact that it's not paired up with a support hero that we did mention before heading into the game.
Like the Matilda, it helps with mobility.
Yeah, it should be there. Usually the Barretts is very hard to pull off, even way back when it was meta, if you don't have that by its side. So what more now that it's not entirely in the meta, and Liquid are just stampeding their way through with this kind of lineup that they have.
Basically, if you don't have like an S-test to make sure that you are not dying right away, or a Matilda to get you out of harm's way, maybe make a very fancy Dayton's welcome play.
Iki cakram ki. Itu kamar na ikilotan.
In the previous meta.
Ana HP na iki
We're seeing,
cakram.
again, Redmar said it, like, if it wins, it's good. If it's bad, you know, if it doesn't loses, is it automatically bad though? I guess we'll have to see because we haven't. It's only game 1. Sorry, it's 1 game.
It's just 1 game. It's not a best of 5, so Aurora still has 2 more chances of actually evening out the series and not letting Liquid actually secure the win. But yeah, maybe it was a bit too apparent that they clearly tried to play too much for Yue and Doming Kite here, even when there were no other options for utility jungler or for meta utility junglers left. So maybe they really settled with that idea, and I don't think it's that bad because Barretts, it's like something very similar to the Brethren in a sense.
Yeah, you know what? We saw some pretty fancy maneuvers earlier in the mid game where we said, you know what, Aurora, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe they can pull something off.
But that's it. They weren't able to.
Yeah, it was just a one-off, apparently. I thought they could kind of momentum their way out of that one, but apparently that did not happen. So far, that was a 19-minute game, which we expected would be very good for the Sicilian, which it did, to some extent. The Sicilian did hurt. But once your enemies start jumping onto you, the range of the Sicilian and what it can do kind of just diminishes.
HP
I think they got really outraged.
HP.
And the Granger, plus the Sky Piercer stacks, plus the amount of damage they already got because they were very much ahead in terms of gold, was too much for Aurora to handle. That even if the Demon Kite and Light tried to put themselves up front, they couldn't tank it, or Liquid don't care. They will just try to bypass or just try throwing out their resources onto either Yue or Domikite. They'll be the ones looking for them instead. Like, they know that Demon Kite nor Light won't pose that big of a threat. So what's stopping them from playing so aggressively? And even Sanji, we saw him holding some very rare or unusual bushes. It was even mentioned by the casters that it reminds us of a same or a similar play years ago where 5 minutes that person just stayed in that bush. Well, Sanji didn't do that, but
Not 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
it's the same effect, right?
yeah, you get the point. It's so aggressive from Liquid.
Aggressive, which is again their signature coming into this one. Oheb is the BPI rich guy with 878 GPM. He went loco in this one, folks. He went loco
In the past 2 games.
in the past 2 games, honestly. And then this one, I was saying maybe part of it is also, he is facing off against one of his brothers,
Favorites.
one of his favorite
Favorite,
teammates, Edward. We saw that earlier when Edward was going insane on the bottom side. It's so poetic. It was Oheb who shut that down.
Yeah, we were all screaming. Oh, it's Edward and him up against each other down bottom when they actually had that team fight. But
My heart.
those were just one of the many encounters they had so far in the past 2 games. But it's so unfortunate that we don't get to see Aurora play their game just yet.
Yeah, I don't think this is Aurora's game.
This is not. They're much more
It's
cleaner
nuts.
than this.
I know. So I'm wondering what needs to happen here, and maybe they'll get a little bit more of an idea of what needs to happen here. Maybe it's Yue. I would like to see Yue back on the Kimi, at least for one game,
Yeah.
just to bring back that savage feel that we saw in the regular season for him.
I also think this was a Sicilian's first loss.
It is, I think so.
Because every time they bring out the Sicilian, it's either a do or die, it's either I don't know, they choke out you as other options kind of situation, but he
Crucial.
pulls it off either way. But this was different. It wasn't a last pick Sicilian, it was I think a first phase Sicilian.
Yeah, very early. I think second, red 2, I think it was red
Yeah,
2.
but even then, it didn't work. So it's really unusual to see Aurora in this kind of position. We're hoping that they actually find a way to regroup heading into game number 3. But if we are gonna put a bit more highlight onto Sanji, what else can we say about this Farsa performance?
I mean, usually farces are pretty laid back, right?
Yeah.
But this one, Sanji also was on fire here. There's just no other way to say it.
Yeah.
It was crazy. He went also very aggressive.
Even against a Gatot, a CC.
Gatot usually cancels out your feathered airstrike, so usually you want to stay far away.
Yeah.
But in this one, Sanji really played like, I don't mind. Let's go ahead. Let's
I don't care. Let's go.
So, is that the mode that we're seeing Team Liquid in right now? Is this a mode where they don't really have any fear against any pick? That's a scary team like this. Is that right? So before that though, obviously, I hope that our players were taking water, especially with Sim Purified Water, which is filtered through volcanic rocks for a crisp, clean taste that quenches like no other. At least, well, Sim na. Nice segue. Really fun.
Maybe we should translate that somehow in a bit. But also, just so you guys know, if you have no funds to shell out for air conditioning units that will only use once, worry not, because Arctic Aircon Rental has a wide range of packages that will surely fit your budget.
Yeah, be it an outdoor function or an outdoor affair. Sorry, an indoor function or outdoor affair. I missed those two up, I'm sorry. Arctic or Aircon actually rental is here to make your events cool and fuss-free while keeping your guests comfy. Which again, they're the ones actually doing this whole thing. And this whole...
You can see why his hair is like...
But the air is blowing in my face.
Yeah.
It's so cold, I'm actually shivering in a place where it's usually very hot. So thank you so much. And of course, let's go to Go Hotels. If you want to go explore more, hashtag go explore more with Go Hotels. Go ahead and book them right here. If you need a place to chill in while you are waiting after a very tiring grand finals, there's one nearby here.
Yeah.
So
Our casters are always excited to head back
and chill.
to Go Hotels after a long day, because we've had long days throughout our playoffs. This isn't new to us, by the way. Even in season 15, we've had like the first 2 days with all maxed out series, 2 best-of-5
and 20-minute games.
20-minute games. So this isn't new to us, but we're glad we have Go Hotels this time.
Thank you so much for Go Hotels for keeping us near the area and making me not commute all the way to the middle. Thank you so much. So we are gonna go ahead and get into the smart power pose though. Put your game face on and make your smart. Do the pose, do the pose. Let's do the pose.
Oh, I wish Claude did it. Yeah, there you go. Oh, no,
It's a classic oh hell pose. Come on, come on. Is no one willing to take the challenge?
Oh, there you go.
There it
That's
is.
good. That's good. That's good.
It's from Aurora.
You just keep the tip of your finger right under your nose.
Shush the haters. Shush the doubters, boys and girls. Come on.
Oh, he had to take off his glasses, so it's more accurate. Okay.
That's right. Oh, it doesn't have glasses.
Okay, I think this is a face-off. This is gonna be a face.
Oh, wow. That's how you do it. They're trying to.
I like it. I like it. Okay.
They're trying to style their hairs.
So every time it pans to the other, they'll be fixing their hair first and then redoing the entire thing. Okay, congratulations, sir.
Okay.
You are unfortunate.
Can you win too?
You win.
Can they both win? Please, Smart.
Everyone thinks you're still a winner.
Yeah, we're all winners here with experiencing such a beautiful match like this. And again, highest tier MLBB action, I think.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look at that. How often do you see the top one team forced to draft a lot more differently than they usually do?
it's completely different Aurora, honestly, that we're seeing.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start, really, honestly.
I could feel how Coach RC is also like really mad.
Yeah.
He said it, right?
He said it yesterday.
Yesterday and in another interview that he blames himself.
I think for game one.
Yeah.
Sorry, for day one.
Day one.
Where they lost.
Yeah, they lost their match against Falcons before their rematch during day one of the play-ins, and he says he blames himself because he wasn't there. Or like he wasn't able to help because again he had to recover.
Yeah.
So now look at him. Look at Coach RC now.
He's on fire. And for Aurora, I feel like, come on, should we go back to basics here? Like master the basics?
I hope so. I hope so.
Is that the call? Come on, we need something like that to happen because right now it feels like we are hemorrhaging wins. We're hemorrhaging gold here for the Aurora side.
Yeah. Fundamentals were always what we were looking forward to see in Aurora's play style and how clean their execution is of these fundamentals. They're a team you always want to look forward to seeing or to look up to when you want to like double check on how you're doing your fundamentals.
They're like the baseline.
They're the baseline.
Yeah.
And it's a bit too clean. It's unbelievably clean. So now I feel like everyone's really confused as to what's happening.
What's going on, man?
What's going on? But it's nothing that they can't recover from. We've seen this time and time again. Aurora, if there's one thing that they've learned throughout time, definitely it's to adapt a lot more better in situations like this.
Adaptability is something that we've seen Mr. Consistent go through as well. So I don't doubt it's going to happen, or it can happen. The question is when. But before that, let's roll it over to an M7 Spotlight video with Kyrie.
Me and the team are doing good in scrims and practice, and hopefully we can play the same in the tournament. Don't forget to support us and watch us guys on this playoffs, and hopefully we can qualify for M7 and see you there.
Oh, thank you, Kyrie.
Did you hear the squeals in
I saw a few
the
people.
arena?
I think some people are fainting after seeing Kyrie there. But yeah, I'm kidding. No, they're not. But they're close to.
I heard so many screams and squeals and
Kyrie looks good.
yeah.
His hair is pretty good.
I can't even recall the last time I heard him speak in Filipino.
We miss you, Kyrie. We miss you, brother. And here's a Golden Sammy we're talking about here. They're looking for that back-to-back championship. Season 15, Season 16, can it happen? They already won MSC. They already won Season 15. If they win Season 16, M7 is the only one missing.
Oh my goodness. It was something that we once thought was so impossible.
It feels like a fever dream.
Just because of how competitive every single season develops into, and like even when you step foot into Worlds, there are just other regions constantly stepping up too.
Exactly, not just the season, not just Philippines, right? All over the world, in Indonesia right now, Onyx feels unstoppable. Onyx feels very strong. SRG all the way in Malaysia. Also, I think they're undefeated so far in the season.
Yeah.
So what is up? Everyone in the chat knows this, especially our international viewers. They're the one who loves watching the other regions as well. Everyone's going crazy right now, and the Golden Road feels impossible. But Tlph is starting to do it.
Yeah, we have Liquid. So there's two things that Liquid might actually accomplish if they do secure the championship for the season. For now, it's being the third team to get a back-to-back, and it's being one step closer to finally achieving the Golden Road.
But speaking of close, Bree, can anyone be more close than these two? Edward and Ohem. It's really spine-tingling seeing them together in so many pictures, especially these ones in the background when they're so young.
Yeah.
Look at these baby faces right there.
Look at their face masks. And look at their hairstyles.
Their hairstyles evolving throughout the years as
Look at their headbands. Look at their jerseys. We've seen all versions of it where they were in a single team. So if you were to throw back to, I think, a lot of people's favorite era, the Age of the Crown.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very iconic duo that you're seeing too in both Edward and Ohem. So sometimes when you think about it, it's a bit too unreal that it's been so long since we last saw them play together.
And it's now even more unreal to see them beating each other up on the stage. Not literally, but in the game. You know what I mean, guys? Come on.
Yeah, of course. What else could we do?
It's just so poetic. At the same time, it really just hits at your heartstrings, man. But for that matchup that we are looking for the longest time, even Kite and Carl Teasing, I gotta say, the stats are really skewing towards the face of MLBB, at least in this specific one.
Yeah, I think also up there you could put Zaida.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
I agree, Brie.
I think he has first for some of these, or no, I think it's majority in Carl's hands too. Like Carl, maybe you could say because he's played a lot more games. I think that's almost double the games
almost double.
that
Yes.
Team played in the playoffs. But also, it's something. It's one thing to be this consistent in all of these games.
And across all of these stats as well, like DPM, average kills, GPM, you're getting ahead of most of the junglers. It's scary to think that Carl Teasy is doing this as well, with mostly utility. Mostly utility. So it's insane. At the same time, it's also kind of maybe painting a picture of what our metagame in the jungle currently looks like.
It's great though that both of these junglers we're seeing in our screen or in front of our screens are junglers who can work with either of the two jungle types that exist now or that you most probably have to familiarize yourself with so you could really play the current meta game, because you can't be restricted. Like now that we're in this patch, you can't stick with just like all utility throughout or
you can't
all
be a
assassin. You can't be like that. And so it really favors teams who have learned how to adjust and explore a bit more. We were so used to only sticking to one, and now it's so nice to see that we are open to both.
That's right. And at the same time, we've also seen teams who have failed to adapt to what the meta is in the jungle that they've already faltered. They've already fallen here in the MPL Philippines since the 16 playoffs. So either way, I still want to see that Brethren contested. I think you guys want
Yes, of course.
I know you guys want to see the Carl TC Lancelot. We're all in this together. Trust me, chat, we know.
Yeah, so now that I think about it,
and the Hayabusa as well, right?
Liquid's successful in first picking the Frederick over the Harith. And isn't that like Dominic's first or maybe even second loss
Probably.
on the
Yes.
Harith this season?
It's insane. It's one of his best heroes. It's one of Dolmenkite's best heroes, and it suffered that fate. It is scary to think what kind of strategizing that Team Liquid is doing right now behind the scenes to make sure that their best picks, that the best picks here for Arora are basically getting.
Okay, there probably is a lot going in the minds of MTB, Dexstar, and the whole Aurora.
Yeah,
Because we're heading into the draft very, very soon. I know you could see them right behind us.
they're getting ready.
And that's the first step if they want to even things out or catch up to Liquid standing currently in this finals because they're just 2 more wins away. Can you believe that? I do not want to see a sweep.
Please no. I do not. We booked our hotels for the long haul. We went to our Go hotels. We said, you know what? I feel like we're gonna be in for until later tonight.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna book. We're not gonna check out quite yet.
I had a hard time going to sleep last night.
So please, you're getting like overthinking. Going,
Yeah,
how
because I'm
long?
just so excited about all of this. I'm expecting we'll go all the way, but everything was really comfortable, by the way. I prepared myself mentally for a very long series.
That's right. You've even bought like what do you call that? Where is it? Bring it up.
I brought a
Where is your blanket?
It's a
Bring it up. Actually, prepare the blanket.
it's not I didn't buy it though, but
Someone gave it.
Someone gave it.
So thank you.
I would like to thank whoever gave me
That's right.
this.
Look at this.
Where's
Look at
the
this.
head?
I just want to say it looks cool.
Whoever gave me this minion.
Aside from their 1v1 playoffs history, by the way, where Demon Kite is all obviously a bit behind. Look at that. Look at Brigad's blanket.
Look at this. Oh my goodness.
But Demon Kite has been able to catch up in their matchup in
In
season
the
14.
in season 14, but it's just in season 14.
Memang kalau menikah di kata-kata Bonggol ya.
Demon Kite's always like losing. I was trying to look for a different term, but it doesn't.
There's just no other way around it.
There's no other way around it. This is
Alright,
what
you
like
lost.
the stats show us. Carl TZ always gets the upper hand against Demon Kite, and it's always like a 1-3 or a 0-3 to make things worse.
Yes, so it's been a bit of a stomp for the most part for the Carl TZ. He's the face of MLBB for a reason. And I think that reason is very optimal, or very apparent here in Game 1 and Game 2 as well.
If only you could put regular season records here too, but you can't.
Can't we?
These are just playoffs. These are just playoffs records.
Yeah, this is playoffs.
So that's why they're all favoring Carl. And how devastating is that going to be for Demon Kite if they meet the same fate?
Again? Then maybe they need a duel or a rematch.
Someone bought the Aurora thingy.
Aurora thingy, the rope.
Oh yeah, the rope.
The rope. In the mountains.
In the mountains.
The rope in the mountains. The Zen. I'm not gonna say that on the podcast. Come on. Look at the immortal come.
Yeah, so nice. Oh my goodness, we're so close to seeing the next draft and Aurora back to first pick.
Okay, they're on blue side. 76% win rate on that side for Aurora here, or I think overall. And yeah, so get your blankets ready. I hope. Which Brigida is doing right now off camera. She is very obsessed with this blanket.
I am obsessed with this minion blanket.
It's nice. It's a minion. So
Okay.
So we are going at this one. It looks like a very tense moment, at least for Aurora. Look at the body language here for Team Liquid. They seem. I saw Carl TZ on there a little bit.
What?
not gonna lie.
Don't.
Not gonna lie. I hope the fire is still there. Get into the countdown here for the drafting phase of game number 3 between Team Liquid Philippines and Aurora. We're looking for the first bands later on, but first let's look at the map draw. It will be crucial. It will also kind of dictate, sometimes it dictates the speed on which we will make ganks happen.
Again.
The rotations around expanding rivers, but it will be dangerous grass for game number 3.
Oh yeah, it's different. We've had 3 different maps so far.
Ooh, the randomizer is doing its thing.
Randomizing today.
It's randomizing today. Good job, randomizer.
Okay. Why am I getting a feeling that they're not really taking out the Harith anymore? Not unless Aurora wants to do that.
Yeah, I think so. I think we can definitely safe to say that either team can actually pull off the Harith at this point. So leaving it open doesn't feel as bad compared to like some regular season or even some earlier playoffs games.
Yeah. Okay, Hilda gets respected though.
Hilda does get a lot of respect as well. So
and JP, yeah,
good job, JP.
Yes.
Yeah, good job, Daddy JP.
So maybe Aurora might be a bit more open to an assassin jungler,
Yeah.
but it depends if get the Fred first pick again. It's been the trend for the past 2 games, always been the Fredrin prioritized in blue. But Liquid,
Call me a hero.
they seem to have found a way around it, so they change things up.
All right, that's a little different here.
This is the first time Isumshin's been open for the series.
Wow, okay. So this might be something different for Aurora. This might speed up their mid-game tempo with this pick. Now then again, we're looking for its matchup, its win rate against the Fredrin. I would say can be pretty close.
Yeah, so is Liquid considering still a Frederick because there are other junglers option? I think that's why they delayed for Red 3 first. The God of Harith, as expected, will be the response. It's impossible for you not to get the Harith when you're in red side and it's still available at this point. So Granger, I think this is gonna be very consistent for Aurora. They have to secure Doming's hero in the first phase, especially now that it's been a Harith Granger matchup always. So this is gonna be the difference.
I think this core line here for Aurora is already fine, especially with the high loss in tow. I think Alice would be a very good pick for Aurora, just to make sure that this Wise as a Granger can kind of maneuver around it. You can also kind of just solidify someone with because it's physical damage, jungle with physical damage. Gold laner, so I think you want to go magic on your. If you don't want to go bombing on the mage, maybe you want to go and get that Alice. But Hayabusa on Carl TZ, we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
This is a good switch up, and they're not getting stuck in a pattern.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Really good. From a Baksha to a Fredrin to a Hayabusa.
He's doing everything.
Carl's been doing everything. He's been getting majority of those really good meta picks that are not usually all open. So it's really surprising that it gets open.
It's excellent, actually.
Yeah. So the Varsa's still available too. It's gonna suit the Liquid lineup a lot.
Yeah, the Eve can also work for Aurora this time around, so maybe they might consider picking that up.
So, if Liquid wants, they could just bat the Eve and then get the Varsa, so there won't be any matchup. But Aurora take it out themselves.
Okay. All right. So obviously it's gonna be a lot of mages, probably. I think Valentina lot, but could probably make it for how they want to use it. I don't like it just for the glorious pathway, but I'm thinking ahead for Aurora's mage pick here.
Yeah, I think it's also a lot more frequently coming out when there's a Grok on the other side, or when there's that really good big ticket ult that you want for yourself. But currently, it's the glorious pathway, and I think that's also really helpful if you're Liquid. But they take the Novaria out again.
Okay. So the mid matchup obviously is going to be. We might start seeing a bit of different mid lane matchup here.
What was Sanji on during game 1?
Was that Eve?
But now it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone now. So it might maybe another mid control mage. Selena is not out of the question here, I think.
That's what I was thinking, because it's always the matchup whenever the Novaria comes out to counter Selena, but not to counter. It's just to match the Selena. But Lumos gets taken out as well. It feels so It feels like it was just yesterday, but okay.
Oh my God, what happened to Lunox? Lunox, come on.
What happened to Lunox Kimmy? Like they were.
Lunox, Kimmy.
They're not being.
Not even getting banned.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Lunox got banned here
So
by Arora.
Farsa or Kimmy might be coming in later for both Sanji and Yue.
Aurora needs big magic damage here. Big magic damage, lest they be armored out by TLPH.
I don't think the Kimmy's a bad idea.
It is true. It is a really good. If you're looking for big magic damage, that's it. But at the same time, it might be.
There's a Haya Lapu. Yeah.
And the gold is gonna be eaten up by the YSS and the Granger, so you will lose out on some gold.
But you can't go Sicilian here either.
Yes, I do not want a Sicilian here. There's the Alice. I knew it was coming. But who's the mage? Selena. All right.
Okay. So what's left for Sanji is like the Farsa.
Farsa.
Yeah. We did say the Farsa Selena are like the option.
Maybe a Lilia. Farsa it is. All right. There you go. All right. So despite what our fears earlier, Brigitte, I think we kind of predicted that draft pretty well.
Yeah.
So good job up here.
The options were out
The
there.
options were out there.
Dia
That's
tak
good.
tukar ni.
So we're not so far out of the meta yet.
Not yet. Especially in this game.
That's right.
We're not seeing any
Tak tukar ni
Barretts
mesti ni.
or anything. And we're back to the Yisun Shins Hayabusas.
Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy.
I like it.
I think the way the momentum's going, though, this is a very comfortable lineup that Liquid has secured
Rana
for
mo na
themselves.
kita kono lah.
Aurora can play this just as
Lepas tu
aggressively,
dia nang tak
but
kuat nang
after some time.
apa terus
Yeah,
dia.
let's see if Aurora can buy some time here in game number 3. Don't forget, it's already 2-0 for the Stampede and Cavalry. Throw it over to our casters to bring us the game.
Right now, this is about the most looking Season 16 draft we've seen on both sides. We're back to those YSS Hayabusa matchup. We've got marquee picks on both sides, but is this going to be enough for Aurora to finally get a point in the series? It's a best of 7 right now, facing 0-2 against Team Liquid Philippines.
Yeah, so when I first saw the 3 picks, blue side of Aurora, I liked it. You cannot go wrong with those first 3 picks, no matter what you slot in for blue 4 and blue 5. Then you see the Selena. I am partial to the thought that this is very flippy if you're playing around a Selena like this, especially when you see the Gatakacha and the Farsa on the other side, the fact that you're playing up against a Lapu Lapu. But then it was paired up with an Alice. So Aurora are now going to be playing a lot of dive, playing around that Granger and the YSS, but then you're up against a Hayabusa on the other side. That very coin flippy to see which team's actually going to take this.
What I'm looking for is Aurora's box control. Wolf has been speaking ad nauseum about boxes, and in game 1 and 2, that's been one of their major problems. Given we haven't really talked about it during the game, I'm pretty sure it was alluded to by our esteemed panel, Rockhart and Brigida, but that's what I'm looking for. They have a high loss that should help, and I think that's key to them recovering. Again, fixing tool problem.
The only box I feel like really that we talked about was when the Eve was picked up, and now a couple times, it's either been picked up or it's been banned at this point. But when you look at Aurora and their chance to set up a box, it's kind of weird the way it's going to work, because anytime we see the Alice drafted in, we know that that's a big component to kind of zoning out the opposing team, and that's going to happen to TLPH. Oheb and Tomikai, by the way, going through this. Sanford will have to burn the flicker, so he doesn't have that. But Carl Teasy joins too. Turtles up though, so they're going to go and start this up. JP holding down the front. He gets Team Kai really low here.
Shin, Mountain Shocker. They're going to try to pull a Hail Mary here. Sanju with the feathered airstrike, zoning out Aurora. JP very low, survives via the revitalize. Gets no first blood on by Edward.
Oh, Edward, he goes down. Shadow kill going to be used. Carl picks up 1.
It's all Liquid, man.
Wow, I feel bad for Demon Guy. That's like 3 games now where JP's just been man-marking him. JP fell, yes, and that was a great entry with the Gleam and the Throne of Ruin by Edward. But in the end, Liquid held on. JP got back in time to pop up the Revitalize and help Liquid stay strong up against the entry of the Alice.
From Sanji, forcing a flicker from you.
The reason why he keeps picking this up.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, Tomikai has to burn the flicker too. A whole lot of resources being used up on some of these small little fights happening across the map.
2 ults for a flicker. 2 minutes versus what, 30 to 40 seconds.
Alongside JP, Sanji's been on point this whole series as well. Looking at the items, slight, no clear obvious lead, maybe between the two junglers. Getting a little bit bigger now, but we still are in the earlier portions of the game. If JP and Sanji can link up again one more time to set things up for Carl TZ, Turtle 2 should be good for them. While Arora, now I like their rotation. They're going for the doming double, sending him to the mid lane. They have 3 bodies on him to help him out, get a little bit more farm. And now I like this acceptance by Arora that they really have to start speeding up the farm for their Granger.
Yeah, I talk a lot too about Demon Kite and how impressive he's been throughout season 16 in general, but I feel like he's going to have to be the one to step up too. A lot of these objectives in the early game and then even later on in the Lords.
My God.
He has to get the retributions off. He has to be able to get the secure in. But again, that's easier said than done, especially when you're zoned out by Tlph, who has solidified that strategy of fighting around that box, fighting around that zone. And who are they going to go for? Sanford, who's confident up to 1v2?
Answers back after receiving a face full of Mount Chakra to the face. No ult for Demon Kite, so Liquid have all the incentive to just sandbag into this turtle. That's 2 for 2 now for the Cavalry.
Yep, there's a jump. They go in and they're able to
This
lock down.
Sound Force taking down Demon Kite. He thought he was safe for the orange, but it was just but a bait. Glorious pathway by Light to get on out there, and Liquid have successfully invaded. Light down! 40 gets him. The Apex Predator strikes again with a flicker. Bravest fighter, Carl freaking Teasy.
This is the stampede that we've seen time and time again from Team Liquid.
Liquid, no. Liquid, feel it. You've seen the intensity that they've shown. Every winning moment that they have, because I think they just know that they are way over in Rora's heads. Rora, they don't look like Rora.
They're not playing their game. Not even the same game they played 2 days ago. This is a different team. Liquid have put the fear of God into them.
Yeah, what happened? Like, how did they, like, again, is it just the gauntlet, the endurance test that Team Liquid Philippines has played from the play-ins, from day 2, 3, 4, all the way to now?
Yeah, they have the hotter hand. It seems like it's a learning experience again. One of the branding that we have for Team Liquid for this playoffs is the revenge tour. Winning against teams that they couldn't get a win over in series throughout season 16. And this would, wait, Demon Kite, not again.
Sanji coming in, feathered airstrike. AOG, Demon Kite will not survive as JP serves up a kill to Sanji. Caught easy, want to take down. And he does! Roast Centaur, anybody? 2 free kills for Cavalry.
This is the Golden Stampede. They know. They've outwardly said they don't want to think about winning M7. They don't want to think about that just yet because there seems to be a curse. But it looks like they are hell-bent and holding on to that. Everything perfect. JP helping serve up that kill to Sanji. The prediction of Sanji to put down the feathered airstrike to the path of where Demon Kite was going out instead of trying to go for Demon Kite correctly. And the timing of Carl TZ to conserve the shadow out at the very last second.
There's just something about it. Third turtle's up. Sanford's going to jump in. He's zoning the mountain. Carl gets the turtle.
3 for 3. Feathered airstrike goes on to wreak havoc. And the shadow kill go into the back. Light falls. No front line for Arora.
No one goes down except for Light. Could have been way worse for Arora, but now that's 3 for 3 for the objectives for Carl TZ.
The MVP of the season, the homecoming boy.
Oh, jump.
Demon Kite,
Taking a flicker out too. Demon Kite trying to get some space. Again, fighting between the turrets here.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. When you decide to pick up this Alina as the last pick, yes, again, one of the counters to fast, aggressive rotations to get a read in. But then it's so dependent on landing that abyssal arrow that becomes a big coin flip of whether or not it can actually win fights. But the coin hasn't been landing in favor of Arora. The abyssal arrows have not been impactful enough. Carl?
Oh my God.
Forced out the flick.
Magic damage. Physical damage.
Yep.
What do you do as Arora, especially since your economy has already been under attack? One might argue that these traps and these arrows could be for zoning. But what is the follow-through? Like, by throwing out a trap, by leaving one in the random bush, does that open a farm for Demon Kite? Does that allow Demon Kite to do his thing? They force out a wings by wings from Sanji, a glorious pathway from Light, but they're really buying time, Carl. Shadow kill plus an AOG. In comes JP, forcing a revitalize from Light. Aurora's jungle is in shambles right now.
Oh, they jump in under the turret too. Carl teases around the orange. He's gonna go. Demon Kite could be in trouble.
Shadow kill! Already used. Down goes Demon Kite. Light gonna be up next. Oheb on a killing spree. Liquid. Match point is within fingers reach.
It's all falling apart for Aurora, all the way from the beginning and all the way up to now.
Liquid are relentless, and Aurora are helpless. They can't find anything. There's always something Liquid's throwing at them.
Throw an arrow.
That looks so desperate, bro.
And JP just accepts it with a smile on his face.
Again, if you're Aurora here, you're sitting here thinking, how do we even get a win in our favor when everyone on the team can't even get close enough? They've always been just reacting to what Team Liquid Philippines has been thrown at them. That's the difficult part, and that's been the story from game 1 to now, game 3.
I have to take the moment to show my appreciation for Coach RC and Coach Tic-Tac, what they have done to Liquid. I wonder if one day we could be privy to the preparation, the strategies that they had heading into this, because this is just perfect. They are decimating Aurora.
Sanford's going to jump in. He wants to go for Edward. He will get the flicker out.
AOG
An AOG used.
JP. This is all just to buy time. Carl was just working on the Lord. This is free for Liquid.
Everything has been free this game for Liquid. Again, just able to capitalize on this, make it all work, get to the point, and now they're just in the base here. Better airstrike.
Light right in the middle of all of it. Oheb pops him. Some of them are still standing. Dash and dash plus their revitalize. Popping up that Harriet. And now Edwards up next. Huge one. He's on a rampage.
Oh, they don't have any minions here. They could be trapped in. They have to get out. Oheb's going to force the fight.
Not Oheb. You can't tell him what to do. Dropping that Salmon Bull. He gets shut down. Takes too many a turret hit.
Messy, and greedy there for Oheb, but Liquid, they are still in the lead. But they cannot afford a lot of that. They still have a Lord crashing in, though. Edward's thrown a ruin earlier, only for wait, missile arrow lands.
Feather strike the answer by Sanji, allowing the Lord to get a few more free hits in. Aurora gonna stop Liquid from coming in.
Ooh, it's like you said, Renmar, earlier, back in game 1 and even in game 2, if Tlph has the lead, they like to play a little risky towards the base to at least continue to put the limit on Aurora, and that's what they've been doing. So they get some of the Holy Shields down to work with. They still maintain a big, healthy lead, 7,000 up.
Yep.
And the items are all coming into place.
Yeah, almost 2,000 gold lead there for Carl TC's Hayabusa. 1,000. That's the saving grace right now for Aurora. The fact that Kite has been getting farmed. He hasn't died yet. Already up to a Malefic Roar. He has his core 3 items. But the problem is every other member of Aurora is who's struggling. Yue barely has items in. And even though you don't need that much items, you just land that Abyssal Arrow. It would be great to have a little bit more follow-up, which Aurora does not have enough of at this point.
You know what else Aurora doesn't have enough of?
What's
Time.
Oh.
They need so much farm on Demon Kite. Sure, that is what? Just a couple of thousand, but Demon Kite isn't even firing off on all cylinders. Like, what do you even do if you get a 3-second stun?
Yeah. There's this, I don't know what it is, man, but over the course of history, when we talk about the rivalries, Demon Kite and Carl TZ, it just seems like Demon Kite cannot face that demon, man. I think it's his own inner demon that he faces when it's Carl TZ across from him.
The demon's demon. That is who Carl TZ is to Demon Kite. An echo of the past for Light as well. They said it. They just can't seem to take down these members. They took them down, but now they meet them again. Look at JP.
Oh, he's going to charge up, forcing Demon Kite again. This is what JP has been doing all series long. You have to give it up to him on being able to go ahead and lead that charge. Oheb dropping down his Almond Force.
My God, a third of Demon Kite's health.
Just with one shot, man.
Just
again,
one shot.
Going to take his purple. He does get it.
Wow.
Demon Kite secures that, but is this what you want to do? Because again, the Lord is coming up here now. You don't have that much space to work with. Real quick, this is the Infix GT30 Pro. You can experience victory for every Modlock gamer right now. We're going to look at JP. As I was saying, this man has been doing work.
Yeah.
He's a dad here. He's daddy.
Oh, we really have to start floating the idea that that man is going to be the finals MVP by the end of today if Liquid can seal it. Free Lord. Again, Rora still cannot find an answer. They cannot crack the Team Liquid code.
At this point,
I'm
don't know, man.
scrambling in my head. At this point, it's miracles. Again, it's an Abyssal Arrow layering, somehow Oheb getting punished. But then if Oheb goes down, you still have to think about the Hayabusa's entry with the Shadow Kill. You still have to think about the damage you're going to be receiving from Feathered Airstrikes. And at this point, the fact that there's already an Oracle, even just the belt, even though that's not a full build item just yet, on the Queen's Wings for Sanford, that's okay. Because he can still fight longer engagements.
Oh my
and it goes back to what you said, Leo. Rora do not have the time.
Wings by Sanji. He knows that this is a big ticket rotation. Popping that feathered air strike. The stun on the Carl TZ. In they go, forcing a shadow out. Carl has one more shadow. He's very low. Edward taking a few hits. Glorious pathway and a stun on the JP. Successful defense in the top lane. Bottom lane up next.
So far, a lot kind of thrown out there. They still got to deal with this Lord as it charges into the bottom base turret. There's an AOG.
Tracing this out by Demon Kite. Shadow kill by Carl, taking out Edward. Feathered air strike.
Oh, he's in trouble as he falls too. TL goes in.
Summon force underneath his base. Liquid can smell it. The cavalry stamping through. They are at match point.
Everyone is perfect. Oheb is fired up. He knows they just need one.
Championship point. One more win. The series has been damn near perfect for Team Liquid Philippines. Rora's going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure something out. Let's throw it over the panel to break down our game 3.
Man, I have not, again, we've seen them all throughout the season. I have not seen Team Liquid that fired up. And in that early game, really dominated and dominoed Arora.
I've never seen that too. And I've also never seen Arora in this state. It's so uncharacteristic of them to get stomped like this.
They were literally stuck. They were stuck between a rock and a hard place, even though there's no rocks here. It's crazy.
How can we even go back to the drawing board after all this?
The drawing board is dead. The drawing board is in shambles on the floor.
Oh my goodness, there we go again. Another MVP for JP.
Oh man, JP is going crazy.
Oh, this man. 4-0 grand finals. What the heck?
And one more game to 5, Bree. One more game to 5-0. What the heck is happening? So far, JP has really been so instrumental making sure the control is there, despite so many possible interruptions, stunts coming in from Aurora's lineup right now.
The way he just keeps throwing out the AOG perfectly. What did he have for breakfast? Or look at that! What did he do to prepare or condition himself for this series? Because this is such an ideal roar that we're seeing in front of us right now.
Yeah, you know what? You guys are blaming JP. Blame him for this victory, because right now it does feel like he is unstoppable.
Please do, please do.
And you know what, Rhea, you're right. The AOGs, they don't even need to hit. Yep. They're zoning enough for Carl TZ to do his thing.
And it's Carl TZ and JP, I believe, who have just always sought Demon Kite. It's JP, it's given. JP is like it's like he's doing a man-to-man defense against Demon Kite, especially when there are objectives. It's impossible for you to not see JP actually trailing after Demon Kite or just making sure that he's never out of his sight. But when Carl TZ provides the follow-up, that's a completely different story. It will always result into not just a good zoning, but a kill. And how frustrating can that be for Demon Kite? He has barely any farm. There was a point where he was 0-3 on the season Shin. And my goodness, this is another scenario of I first picked this jungler, but it's not working against Liquid.
They're getting single-handedly destroying the blue side win rate.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing. So what's up? Like, they are getting the cream of the crop, at least in their position. I feel like the Yi Sun-shin would have been so good in either one of these junglers. But so far, it feels like Team Liquid has been seeing these picks and saying, no, it's not good for you. We're gonna make it hell for this Yi Sun-shin, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I can't even think of like how Aurora are feeling after this. Like 3 losses in a row where you could barely put up a fight against Liquid and the stampede that they've constantly been doing against you. And for sure you could see how badly Aurora want to try something. There was one moment, I think it was when they were trying to defend their tier 3 turret up top, that they actually committed to doing or engaging in a fight. It was started off with a Throne of Ruin from Edward, followed by all other skills thrown out by Aurora, the Glorious Pathway, and some skill shots from Demon Kite and Domin Kite and Yue, but even then you could see it's not enough. They have means to engage, to push forward, but they don't have the capabilities to chase.
Absolutely zero.
Especially if they use their tools to already commit to the fight. Because you could use the Glorious Pathway to chase, yes, but you have to use it for the fight if you're that much behind.
And for the most part, they did use it defensively. And I guess they were put in a position where they had no choice, Brigida. So I would say this is exactly just using the tools at your disposal. I am seeing Team Liquid speed it up because they know that the late game is not going to come their favor, despite our casters, our esteemed, our noble casters saying that this is the most S16 draft they've ever seen so far in the playoffs.
And I just gotta say, we talked about it before it got back to the panel, but since the map's randomizing, what if we get flying clouds for last map? Won't that be like a bit too much for Aurora? Like, it's everything going against them today or what?
And we were also discussing, is that going to help?
Yeah.
Again, Carl Easy is the MVP there. I swear his GPM would have been like 1K there if that ended a lot sooner.
If only, yeah.
He was going bananas on the Hayabusa. Which again, banana. Because that kind of proves why he is definitely the assassin guy, despite being the Fred man of the season so far.
Yeah.
So, I do not doubt his Hayabusa skills. Again, on par with some of the greats, or even sometimes even better than like Kyrie.
Oh, is that a hot take?
It's a hot take. I would say on par, and I'm not saying, But either way, before we get into the whole debate, we'd like to just invite you guys, because we just recently got nominated for numerous titles during the Esports Awards.
Vote for Team Vitality for Esports Team of the Year. There's also Kirk for Esports Breakthrough Player of the Year, Team Liquid and Team Falcons for Organization of the Year.
And don't forget Team Liquid right there. It's also nominated for Content Group, nominated for Esports Publisher of the Year, and Mobile Legends Magnex Esports Mobile Game of the Year, and Esports Game of the Year.
That's a lot.
I said year a lot. So please help us out and prove to the world that MLBP, we don't need these viewer numbers that are very high right now, by the way. We don't need them to prove anything. We want you guys to prove it for us. Go ahead and vote at the Esports Awards. Help us out. Enjoy this new season of MLBP Rising Open. It's an in-game mode designed to provide players a platform to engage in competitive gameplay and jump into the action here. Go ahead.
Yes, please do. There are a lot of prizes there. And I think this is a great way to reward yourself if you're a Vixen or a Guinevere main, because the Aspirants New skins are now available. So participate in their Aspirants Unite themed draw event, because the first 10 times draw using diamonds is actually 50% off. And every 10 draws guarantees an epic or higher quality skin.
I personally use that 50% one draw per day.
Really?
I got the Vixen.
Oh. I got a Vixana, but I
did it.
Yeah, I kept pressing the button and I think I lost like 7,000 diamonds
around that. Because you're rich and we're not.
No, I had diamonds saved up for that.
sure. We believe you.
Look how beautiful the skins
It
were.
really is. I got both. I already got the Gwen. I said, you know what? I need to complete it. It's only like 105 diamonds per day. So I was happy with that. You did it with 1,050, 1,050, 1,000.
To be fair, I got a lot more too.
Okay.
Because you get a lot in a single 10 times roll.
Do it. So many epic skins. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. Now go hang out with Amira.
All right, we are here with Miss Irish Del Rosario, Infinix Philippines Supervisor, and Mr. Willie Lloyd Cruz, Infinix Philippines Community Manager. Hello po, ma'am.
Hello.
Thank
you so much.
Kamusta naman? Kinakabahan ba kayo?
Medyo. Hindi mo wala yun, pero nag-enjoy kami sobra.
Yes. All right. We all know that Infinix continues to, to be known for its innovation and adaptation to technology. So, what's new about this product and what inspired you to these changes?
Yes, of course. As we all know, the GT-verse is expanding. And one of our products there is the GT30 Pro, which we all know is the official tournament phone of the MPL. But wait, there's more. Meron tayong perfect phone for our casual gamers.
Yes, so for our casual gamers out there, we have the GT30. So if you're a student, if you're a young professional, or just an overall fan of the game, the GT30 is for you. So kung ang GT30 Pro ang pang-competitive gamers, the GT30 is for, as they say, the madlang gamers.
Madlang gamers. Okay na ako sa isa dyan. Ma'am, sir. Charot! So, what's new about, may bago ba kayong ilalabas or anything in terms of news and promotions na Infinix fans can look forward to?
Yes, of course. We have a piso sale, guys. So all you have to do is go to the Infinix Philippines TikTok shop. So that's at Infinix Philippines and search Infinix MPL S16. Just type in Infini MPL for you to get a chance, a limited edition MPL Season 16 GT30 merchandise for only 1 pesos.
Yes.
1 peso and the shipping fee, right?
Just don't forget the code, which is the INFIMPL. That's INFIMPL sa ating TikTok checkout. And kunin nyo na yung mga exclusive merch na nakaabang para sa inyo.
Baka ma-down yung system kasi sa sobrang raming makakuha ng piso sale na yan.
Limited lang.
Limited.
Wow.
Yes.
And we also heard the good news that Infinix is nominated for Esports Commercial Partner of the Year. Kamusta naman? Ano naman ang feeling?
Yes, of course. Oh, definitely. We're so honored, to say the least. Thank you, guys. You know, the Esports Award is basically the Oscars of esports. So, we're really, really honored, and it shows that our efforts are making an impact on aspiring esports players and supporting the community. So, shout out to our loyal X-fans, our X-fan community.
Yeah, so iniimbitahan namin ang aming mga X-fans or even the MPLPH fans to support Infinix as the Esports Commercial Partner of the Year sa prestigious Esports Awards. So every vote counts, so sana supportahan nyo si Infinix.
And by the way, rumor has it that meron daw kayong kinakook na something with MPL this holiday season. Golden daw, I heard!
Yes.
Inspired ba yan sa ano?
Well, the Christmas season is really Filipino tradition, Almira. Infinix and MPL is really cooking something up. We're collaborating on something this Christmas season, but we can't really reveal too much. But it will be a golden holiday indeed.
Yan ang naabangan ng mga super fans. So before we wrap this up, may gusto kayong sabihin once more?
Follow at Infinix Philippines in our all social media platforms. And also don't forget to join Infinix Philippines Community Group. And mag-enjoy tayo dun sa loob. Marami tayong fun giveaways. Meron tayong mga fun challenges. So see you there.
Thank you once again, Miss Irish and Mr. Willie.
Thank
We
you.
are ready for game number 4. Panel, over to you.
I reminding you, we're gonna get a lot of surprises from Infinix. Obviously, the GT40 Pro has been performing so well here in the MPL Philippines Season 16, and here in the playoffs, it's no different.
Yeah, do you get to see the hand cams that get featured every now and then when we're in game? I think my favorite hand cam was when it was showed on Zyda yesterday.
Oh yeah, the Fanny game.
We saw the Fanny hand cam when Zyda was playing it yesterday, and he had like a finger glove on his right thumb.
Yeah,
And then
one of the few people who actually do that.
Yeah, and then they use 4 fingers, of course, being a pro player. And then you
I only use 2, I'm sorry. Free. For the items, one for that.
it's only three also, but Zyda's just different. So different. And like a lot of our players here are different.
07 in the chat for Zyda. 07. Alright.
We just had to bring it up.
Bring that up.
Yeah, some of us are still not over what happened last night, obviously, but based on how Liquid are playing, it's looking like a very much road to grand finals for them. Yes,
It does feel like it. And I don't really want stuff like that to happen. I don't want to go home early, Bree.
Wait, what time is it?
It's only 7:30 p.m. At this point, we barely just started the regular season show.
Realistically speaking, not even our casters predicted us to go 4-0.
No one predicted less than 5 games.
No one.
No one predicted less than 5 games.
I'm not sure if chat feels the same, but I'm assuming they do.
Chat, Frigate is asking you.
No, because like Aurora's top 1, they blah, 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 blah. We already threw out all the stats, all the facts, and how they just are the team everyone expects to be the champion.
Yeah.
In playoffs.
We also brought out all the permutations of the drafts that they can do. It's just the execution is just damn.
Yeah.
Gotta say damn.
Yeah.
And here's a Clearhead super fan of the day. Who is going to be the best among 2,000 plus attendees here in Cuneta Astrodome? Right? Who has the best hair right now and will win our Clear package? Power up your dandruff-free scalp, supercharged with Clear.
I thought that was him.
Apparently they'll receive 1 month supply. 1 month supply of Clear, man. What the heck?
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?
Oh, shit.
Okay. Oh,
damn. All right. This guy has the commercial hair.
no, this one looks like he styled his hair.
Styled it. Yeah. It's
And then the other one has commercial hair.
This is glossy look.
This
guy has commercial hair. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Look at these. Okay.
Shorter jawline.
Okay, I wonder who the winner is.
Guys, it's 1 month supply of Clear, men.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Bring out your A game.
It's 1 month supply. Come on.
And for 1 month supply, who's it gonna be?
I think they also can't decide on who the winner is.
Yeah, I think Derek is having a hard time choosing one.
Come show us your dandruff-free scalp.
We want to see that dandruff-free scalp, bro.
I swear he styled that.
He styled it.
Okay,
there you go. Commercial hair wins.
Yeah, Mr. Team Liquid Jacket.
Commercial hair wins.
1 month supply of Clear, man. Amazing.
You'll be saving a lot of money. Congratulations. And that's it. He's the Clearhead super fan of the day.
I'm expecting to see a much more improved hairstyle from this guy in the coming months.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he's a familiar face. I think he's in the venue.
He's here a lot.
Quite often. Yeah.
He's here a lot. So congratulations, brother. And I really hope that Clear. Is there a Clear woman?
I think
there is. There should be. Or there will be. Either way, please let us know.
And congratulations to our Clearhead Superfan of the day. Is he the last Clearhead Superfan for this season? Because
I think he might be, especially if we end right now.
Yeah, because that was already like one of the biggest prizes.
That's a lot.
It's a 1 month supply.
Even I can't finish them off that much.
Yeah, previously we just used to give out like a paper bag. So congratulations, you are the last Clearhead Superfan for the season. But shout outs to all our Clearhead Superfans throughout. We've seen a lot of luscious dandruff-free scalp and hairs. What am I saying?
You can do it, Bree. The chat believes in you. Let's go. All right, so we are at a point where it's the LPH on blue side. That is insane, honestly. We'll get site select. I've already said it is crazy because Arora has picked blue side for like 2 games for free, and they lost, I think. So I don't know what that means for this specific game. Some teams will get a little bit of advantage with red two picks, but is that gonna happen here?
That's what we're about to see, because they're 5 seconds away from, I can't believe I'm saying this, but potentially the last game of tonight.
Of the whole season. And possibly for the whole year for MPL Philippines.
Oh my...
Okay, we're gonna be waiting for M7.
Don't tell me this is Cloud, okay?
If it becomes Cloud...
Because if the randomizer is randomizing, then Arora might not want that for this.
It is! It's flying clouds! We got all 4 maps now.
The randomizer is randomizing a bit too much for today.
And in Flying Clouds, it's showing us an 88% win rate for Team Liquid.
I'm not sure how Arora feels about this, but we just gotta... Okay?
If you're a Aurora fan, you just gotta put your hands up. Spam that blue heart. Or that light blue heart.
Everything's happening so fast.
What the heck's happening here? Insta locking here with Carlisi on the further end. Dominic back on the house.
Oh my gosh, what
is happening, Bree?
Okay, there's a name for this kind of speed in draft. I think it was
Blitz draft.
It's a blitz draft, but now it's another jungler for Demon Kite. Anakai for Demon Kite.
Wow. This feels like it is going to be. I'm sorry to say this. It feels like a last-ditch attempt to really stop the Fredrin man. Stop the Fred man from overtaking this game.
You gotta have a way to be a bit more secured when it comes to objective takes. Akai definitely has one of the biggest resources that you can use to prevent easy access to either using your retribution or just contesting the objectives in general. Oh, I'm seeing myself, hello. But yeah, so they take out the Farsa. Finally, it gets respected as well here. So there won't be any go-to artillery mages available for the second phase of the draft so far.
Is that one way they're trying to balance this out, by removing some of these mid-lane picks that could disrupt the team fight?
Yeah, I think now's the time that we get to see a Kimi from Arora, because there's a Gadot Kimi matchup potentially, and there are no ranged burst damage mages.
Yeah, no major threats to you, so that might be an option.
And even dive, because it's just a Lapu, and at least you have like a way to quickly reposition yourself if ever you did want to, but at most it's just the Fredrin that's serving as the front. We don't know what JP's hero is yet though, so that's also one thing they might want to consider. But based on how things are going, or based on how things have been going, the Hilda also too is still available, though I might not consider that, especially in this scenario where the Akai is the jungler for Arora. So JB maybe might pick up something else this time around.
I still am waiting for the chip from JP.
Are we? But this is an Akai Gatot Kacha though, so the AOG and the heavy spin might not make it that easy for a chip.
The combo is off,
through.
yeah. But at the same time, you know, you can do the assassination 5-man gank.
Yeah, honestly, even the Matilda's still there.
Yeah. Though he is putting everything on the Sicilian.
Yeah. So going back, I think available roamers out there are...
You want to be safe. You do want to build it here.
How interesting the Matilda really is. Oh,
it's
Hilda.
We're going global.
Okay, what does Edward pick in this scenario? Edward has to have a very reliable XP laner.
We might have to go Alice or...
The Alice is there, but...
Or Charisla.
It's the
It's Charisla. Yeah. There you go. Okay. I mean, this is so... It's like plugging a hole in the sinking ship.
I'm trying to... Fastest draft we've ever had for the whole series. This is looking so much like Liquid's comfort.
It is. It's maximum comfort. They have not brought out the Loyi in a long time as well, Brigida.
And I'm not sure how I feel about the synergies of the Gatot Akai Terizla.
Same here. So I don't know what Aurora's thinking, but I hope that we can be surprised, or else this is going to be the last series for the day, or last game for the day. Run over there, casters. Let's go.
Championship point right now for Team Liquid Philippines, unless Aurora, with this interesting draft, to say the least, can do something about it in this game 4. Renmar, looking at the draft with your analyst hat on, man. What's going on here? This looks a little confusing.
Throwback to MSC 2025. It was the Fredrin Akai matchup that gave SRG the only win that they got against Team Liquid Philippines in the grand finals then. Let's see if it is actually a panda-sized hole that is the problem of Aurora, and it's enough with an Akai to plug it. They have their Harris, they have their Sicilian, back to comforts. Edward needs to be on point with his entries alongside Light on the Gatot Gacha.
There's a big problem about that, Renmar. This is not MSC 2025. We are thousands of miles away from Riyadh, almost 6 months removed from a said event. And even if, guess who won that damn big tournament?
Well, we all know who that was. And it's crazy to think that, again, for how many times have we seen the gold lane change in the season, and especially here in the playoffs, and all we've seen today is Granger and Harris.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to these two gold laners, those are the top picks for both of them. The most synonymous with their MPL Philippines Season 16 versions. Lots of tough boots across the board because of all the crowd control that both lineups had. Loyi has had a terrible MPL Philippines Season 16. That is the one thing that Aurora is banking on. One of the few things that they can bank on here, and that Liquid need to change their narrative around that hero. Let's see once we are in the turtle fights, if the heavy spin is enough to mess up with Carl Tizzy's retreat game.
Oh, JP pressing load game on all of the previous wins that he had in with his best of 7, just on Light's face. Yua too getting managed, turtle down to a 5th of its health. Heavy spin by Demon Kite, pinning down 40. Sanji takes down the smiling demon as Carl takes the turtle. Sanford falls, made it up for once more. Double kill for the chef.
Not the start you want to have. Could have been significantly cleaner. Aurora are gonna regret fighting that first turtle like that. But Aurora are still in this. Domikai's been controlling Oheb in lane. Sanji's appearance here is one of the few times that Domikai's been able to show up. But now with Oheb, with a level gap, able to balance things out towards his favor.
And this is the thing here too, JP. Someone's gonna control JP from Aurora, man. He's been having a hell of a time. Probably one of his best series so far in his career against Aurora, game to game to game to game, and it's causing too much havoc on Demon Kite even to even have this kind of jungler that we're used to seeing for Demon Kite.
Yeah, it was Sanford who was able to get this. Oh, AOG, like business.
That's it. Oheb flickers out. Sanji too. Close call, but Liquid will do anything to be able to keep this 1,000 gold lead.
I'm seeing a lot of desperation from Aurora from the first 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Look, JP and Sanford, they're not letting this guy farm comfortably at all. This has been the toughest series Demon Cat has ever played all season long.
That's what I said. I think maybe what they found out, one of the weak points here for Aurora to deal with that dominant gameplay we've seen all season from them is to put unbelievable pressure on Demon Kite. Again, throughout this series, he has not been able to position himself to even contest the objectives the way that he wants, or the way we're used to seeing Demon Kite.
God, Light got JP on him and Carl Tizzy. He goes down. Light takes a nap.
Massive disconnect. I was surprised that it was that push that Light was holding at that point. Just hold lower bottom mid. Or in his perspective, it's upper mid.
Brave Spider by 40, delaying Edward the retreat. I think he wanted to respond somewhere. Oh no, it's Sansan right on Edward. They send themselves down bottom, rotating towards the turtle. Big fight already. Salmon Force shot by Dominkite. Liquid pushes them out of that favorable position as Liquid takes 2 for 2.
A good use of the diversion to come help secure that second turtle. But now look at this, they're gonna put pressure on the purple.
Let the purple right in DK's face. Carl TZ is a menace.
He did not commit the turtle. He slowly used his abilities and basic attacks to take it down. Walked up, retribution away. And now the clock is starting to strike midnight, getting closer and closer to the story of Arora ending with heartbreak.
Edward gets hit with an Abraser's Wrath, survives with about 10 HP, forcing Light to revitalize.
Aurora's in that position now where, oh, hold on, Dominkite should be okay, but and JP again just being a nuisance all over the place. Aurora's in the position where they have to support Demon Kite or at least find a win somewhere else.
Joseph, do you hear how ridiculous that sounds?
It does.
Support the Akai?
He needs help.
I need so much more help. Arora hasn't changed their game plan all series long. Instead of focusing on making sure that Demon Kite is comfortable, Demon Kite can get farmed, that the center of the map is good, they've been changing their focuses, putting a lot more focus on the Demon Kite, not putting enough focus on the Edward as well, and Demon Kite is suffering.
I mean, look at this. They're centered around Demon Kite right now, too, as he falls further behind Carl TZ. Diversion trip to the mid lane. Again, what can Arora do from this point? Who do they go for? Who do they bank on? Is it just Dominkite on the Heron?
Light intercepting on Carl. Sanford taps on Demon Kite, forcing that defensive heavy spin. Bravest Fighter already keeping back the Apex Predator. Oh no, Demon Kite's not going to taste his purple once more.
They're moving way too fast. Purple still goes to Carl TZ. Every angle, every entry point blocked off. Every member, man-to-man zone.
Onto the turret, in between it they go. Like trouble again, he's so low.
Carl TZ with the Abraser trap, 7-4 drop by Dominkite. The flicker from Sanji, backing out, push in mid, tier 1 down.
JP sees the low health bar on Dominkite, and he's like, you know what? Nah, I won't risk it yet. We don't have that 6-7K goalie we usually have.
You know what else is funny? The fact that JP stood there and showed him, yeah, I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah,
that must
this
be
time.
some mental damage dealt to Dominkite's game.
From the walkouts to what they're doing during the game, from walking out from the playing area to back to their huddle areas, it seems like that's been the story. Liquid have just been living rent-free in Rora's heads. Rora have not played their game all series long. Rora have looked uncomfortable all series long. And now Liquid, it's their series to lose, their game to lose. Glowing Wand locked in for the Sicilian, but still, the lead is too far.
This makes sense because a lot of us forgot throughout 2016, this is their house. This is where Stallions live and run free. They are the defending champions, and they are bullying Arora since game 1. Heavy spin, they isolate the goat. Carl TZ sent underneath, tier 3 down bottom. That's a kill for Arora.
There we go, that's something Arora needed.
Right with an AOG. Intercepted by JP and Sanji. They lay down the smackdown on the light. Bravest Fighter onto the Kacha. They take him down. 2 to Ohem.
All part of the plan, I guess, for TLPH. Maybe Carl TZ wasn't supposed to be heavy spun into a turret, but TL still gets something, and it's still on the purple.
They don't even have the retribution. They just have the man advantage, and they still get it. And it's on the Granger of all people.
Yell 1 is a different beast. The day he woke up, and he chose to be greater than ever. He chose to show the world, hey, I am the M3 MVP. I am a 3-time champion. Now he's looking to be a 4-time champion.
This has to be heartbreaking for the Roras. It was Rora that had the most clear, coded intention of the season. Champions. That's it. No looking towards M7. Just get the championship. Finally win that chip for the org. They missed out on it in 14. Didn't even make it to the grand finals in 15. but now they are on the brink of just getting trampled by the hoofs of Liquid.
Juxtaposed to Liquid, who clearly said in their post-match interview last night, we're looking at M7. What is this? Another day in the office?
I think it is just another day here for Team Liquid, as it's another objective that's going to be going in the hands of Carl TZ. Arora isn't even close to this. They're huddled around the Tier 2 turret, trying to think of a plan on how to get this game under control.
Joseph, is this a turquoise ube? They're really just stuck together.
They're stuck, man. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. Arora, I think even for themselves, if the Stampede, for some reason, has just completely whiplashed them throughout this series 4 games in a row.
And leading the charge is JP. Oh, diversion.
They're all in there! They bait out a heavy spin from Demon Kite, who was just doing his darkest to get his own purple, and he gets denied again.
This is not a series at all for Demon Kite. Can't even touch his buffs. They have to watch the Tier 2 turret fall. That Lord making its way down the bottom. Arora needs so much more time to make this composition shine, and it's just not happening here.
In a season where the defending world champions, Onyx Philippines, admitted they've forgotten who they are, Liquid are reminding the world who the hell they are right now. Closer and closer to immortality yet again.
Edward gets defended down bottom. In comes Edward. Light with the intercept to the back line. Simon Force dropped in. Light falls. OF gets another one. OF goes down. Ewan gets the kill. Edward barely alive. Carl TZ goes down. Massive trade. Big win for Arora. 2 for 1. Sanji gonna bite it 2. Make it 3.
A big trade for Arora. They lost the base turret, but Team Liquid has done this time and time again. That first Lord 5K ahead, they go into the base anyway.
Now that was Aurora's fault. That was Edward and Light with the link up, the flank, the gank, the set, and Demon Kite getting the heavy spin to make sure that they can even get a kill onto Sanji. Now we've got ourselves a game. This is now within Light's reach.
Let's take a look at the replay, exactly what happened. Again, Edward jumps in, Light comes from the back. They do get overloaded with damage, but they force it all this under the turret. So even when Carl goes down, Edward gets away with a sliver of health.
Joseph, that is the magic keywords. Under the turret.
Under the turret. It's happened many times.
So that means that wouldn't have happened elsewhere on the map.
Yeah.
Arora has to take their lucky stars. Liquid were willing to overcommit.
You asked if this is a turquoise-coated Ube. One of the greatest strengths of Ube back in the heyday was making comebacks through moments like these. Being able to come back just when you thought they'd lose one sequence or turn it around, there is still a significant lead that they have to chip away at. Carl TZ with the Athena Shield, Dominance Eyes, didn't full build into the anti-Karaz, but OHEB still has a significant lead over Dominkai. Good thing for them is now, though, it's 12 minutes in, then yeah, they already have the Holy Crystal on the Harith and a Divine Clave as well for the Sicilian. So this is within comeback reach. And Liquid cannot overheat.
They can't overheat. Arora, how are they even in a position to want to contest this?
For the first time in 12 minutes, yes. They're trying.
JP.
What a dance. JP taking that flank. Arora have eyes on him. I'm pretty sure someone saw. JP comes in. Eyes on UM, forcing that fast face. Lord at a tenth of its health. Carl DZ trying to keep it up. And then AOG on Light. Lord still standing. Demon Kite secures after a heavy spin tango. And Carl DZ goes down. Demon Kite finds him. Demon Kite falls. One for one trade.
He's gone. The diversion's going to be used. They can get out of there. They have to get out. But Demon Kite got the Lord. They go back.
Summon force by Demon Kite, pushing OHEB out. Now the next target gonna be Sporty. The Apex Predator gets 3. In comes OHEB. Daddy JP to the rescue.
The Edward's gonna miss. And OHEB still firing off the back.
JP finds Demon Kite. Edward gets taken out by his former brother OHEB. Now it's just you and Light left.
What are they gonna do? They have to deal with the Lord here. Light and UA will be able to clear out the minions, so it's going to be just that. Lord buys them time for Arora to stay in the game.
This is the most exciting the series has been all grand finals long. Liquid do not have the iron grip as they did. Arora finding clapbacks. The heavy spin, perfect. Demon Kite getting the retry, but it was Liquid with the counter punish yet again. They can't afford to do that because of the lead. And who was it that showed up right at the nick of time to turn things around? It was the Hilda running up to Arora, but Arora are still in this. And Liquid must not rest on their laurels and their lead.
So, 2 warning shots now to the cavalry. Hey, you slipped up once inside the base. Even outside the base, Rora can clap back. I'm looking at Daddy JP's items. He's got to build that bolt, man.
He's got to get the bolt, do a little damage. The Blade of Hephaestus might be able to help him do that, but
Finish the job. I think that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
If Dominicite died earlier,
Yep.
then maybe the exchange would have been better for Liquid.
it might have been.
Yeah, he was single-handedly zoning out Yue again.
Yeah.
Which is why it felt like a long time for we were wondering where the hell's the Sicilian? Where's all the effects of the Sicilian spells? And it didn't happen up until JP finally showed up, and then Yue could finally join in.
At this point, though, Rora has accomplished one thing, that's time. Again, we talked about this when the Sicilian was picked up earlier on by Yue, and that's what he needs to get the stacks.
They bought time.
They did buy time, and he just got a clock of destiny for more time. So now at this point, Rora is in an actual position of contention for the next Lord. That's really what the focus is going to be here.
Yep.
Unless Tlph, mind you, we haven't seen the Loi pop up too much, but now that you have that, you can play at a macro level, and they're still going to put pressure on the purple buff of Demon Kite. But he will go ahead, and it looks like he doesn't get it.
Nope.
He hasn't had majority of his buffs, but I'll tell you what, the last fight for the Lord is why we saw what Enakai can bring to these objectives. If the team is able to capitalize on that and Demon Kite can get that space for the heavy spin, he can secure it. And every Lord that's secured from this point is a big win for Rora.
Rora has had immaculate minion wave control all season long, and they have to keep that up. The lack of the turret in the bottom lane, the lack of good health on the turret in the mid lane, and they're up against Liquid's Low Yi, Sanji's Low Yi. How heartbreaking would it be if, despite everything that they've done in this game, it's the signature Liquid backdoor?
Oh man, Demon Kite taking a ton of damage, already a half health.
I'm looking at Dominicite. He flushes Daddy JP out, and that is a huge threat. Maybe even worse than a split push.
JP goes mid, bottom. He wants to go ahead and push that turret in so that Yue has to respond.
Yeah. He's just hitting the siege minion. He's not full clearing it, allowing the minions to slowly finish the job so he can rejoin.
Half health on this Lord here. Demon Kite, he's going to have to make a play.
Sanford on him. Head comes in close. Raven Spider coming in. Demon Kite still secures the Lord. Is that been forced? By Dominicite. That's not a fight that they want to take. Chi light out of here. Now the face going to be up next. Oh my God. The Golden Road beckons. Stampede complete. The cavalry goes back to back.
What a play, Team Liquid Philippines are your FPL Season 16 champions.
Doubts answered with an undeniable reality that crushes the brightest of dreams. Team Liquid are better than you. Team Liquid are on the Golden Stampede. Team Liquid are undisputed.
It runs in their blood. They've done this over and over again. From Jakarta to Malaysia to Cambodia, a backdoor win by Liquid.
What was the possibility? I didn't expect it would actually happen. I already said it leading up to that Lord.
I said as well, the Louis Yi is a macro play. And they just brought the cavalry down there. We talked about managing that wave. And they used it to their advantage to win the championship.
The story continues for Arora. Tonight ends in heartbreak and tears. All the hard work that they did in the regular season. Reminding them whose house this is. This is Liquid's.
Again, it's been amazing to be with you guys joining around the world. Season 16 has been a treat. It's been us, the Wee Bear Bros, me, Leo, and Renmar to bring you the action. Let's throw it over on stage to hear for our winners.
Super fans, with that sweep, make some noise for your back
days of the playoffs, we now have our MPL Philippines Season 16 champions. Get ready to lift your trophy you've earned.
What a moment. An opportunity for them to complete the golden road, and they have what it takes to continue it yet again, making something happen. Moments for them, and now I think it is time.
I think they're ready this time. Get ready to lift the trophy you've earned. In 3, 2, 1.
Lahat ng pagod at sakripisyo para makuha ang pangarap. A well-deserved trophy and your symbol of immortality. To present more of the awards, we welcome on stage Mr. Victor Kabuay, Vessel Project Manager. Now to award their medals. Coach Tic Tac.
Coach RC.
Sanji.
JP.
Perks.
Carl TG.
The Apex Predator, Stanford!
OHEB. And their manager, Miss Mitch Liwanag. Once again, your champions,
Team Liquid Philippines!
And finally, we award our final MVP! The player that has significantly contributed to their team's road to immortality. Presenting this award is Ms. Janet R. Tumang, Supervising Sports and Games Regulation Officer. And Mr. John Carlo R. Felix, Sports and Games Inspector. And now, are you ready to find out your finals MVP?
Sino ang boto ng madla?
Any guesses? Isigaw nyo! And your finals MVP
Once again, your finals MVP, JP! JP, congratulations. You now have a finals MVP kasama ang iyong mga kakampi. And mind you, JP is still undefeated in a grand final. What's the secret, JP? Ano bang nangyayari whenever you step into a grand finals para mag-evolve ka ng ganito?
Ano lang po talaga nagpo-focus ako saka ginagawa ko lang po yung best ko para sa teammates ko para makakapag-displace.
What an incredible performance for the grand finals. I bet hindi nila in-expect yung ganitong outcome. And kahapon, nakausap natin ang Team Liquid Philippines. I wanna ask Satford, dahil kahapon sinabi mo na hindi nyo inaasahan or hindi nyo ina-aim yung championship today. What happened this morning? What made you decide? Ano ang tumakbo sa isip nyo na ganito kalakas ang Team Liquid Philippines stepping into the grand finals?
Ano lang po yun reverse psychology lang po yun. Pero talagang in-enjoy lang po namin yung series tapos ayun, sobrang nagulat kami na nakuha namin yung ganitong resulta.
So this is Team Liquid Philippines without any pressure. This is your potential. Pero parang may pressure kanina. OHEB!
OHEB! Nararamdaman namin yung pressure dito,
OHEB Game 3 pa lang. Palong-palo ka na. Anong meron doon? What's the story behind it?
Gusto ko lang talaga bumawi sa Arora, kaya sobrang gigil ko kanina. Pero mga close naman kami yan, sa in-game lang talaga magkakalaban.
Parang hindi kayo naniniwala. Naniniwala ba kayo? Nako, okay. Medyo, tagilid ang resulta ng iyong interview, pero hindi tagilid ang inyong naging resulta with this tournament. Once again, your finals MVP, JP! What a moment for all of Team Liquid Philippines and for the rest of them that are right here. In behalf of everyone that has made it all happen, in behalf of our teams, staff, and the rest of everybody's support, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nagpunta sa Cuneta Astrodome to be part of history. And in behalf of Almira, Odin, my name is Hans Galeria, and this has been MPL Philippines Season 16! Champions, you can do your trophy lift one more time. Odin, please do the counting for us.
Once again, you may lift the trophy that is rightfully yours. In 3, 2, 1! Congratulations to your champion!
stars. To the top, no ifs, no buts. Winning any game para to sa PINAS. Matipinag aming boses sa new level. Nasa kalye man o mobile, you know I become a legend. Open fire, we cannot be winners. But with pressure, like diamonds are made of. Switching lane na parang gera. Each beat is in way to set up. Pagkakatang buhat ni Hilda. Full to SS parang Laila. Malakas para sa Pinas. Nasa amin ang alas, hindi dito aatas. Kumikilala sa taas kasi kami ang malakas para sa Pinas. Nasa amin ang alas, hindi dito aatas. Kumikilala sa
Ito na! 4, 3, 2. Expect nyo rin pagdating sa mga competitions, iuwi namin yung panalo. Patuloy din natin ipakita sa buong mundo na Pinas lang ang malakas. Final lap to immortality. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the LPL Philippines Season 16 Grand Final!
Pagkaklasa ng Arora, dalawa na lang ang natitira sa kanila at may wave pa sila sa gitna.
Inaabangan na lamang ito! Yumi goes down!
Ang patay na naman ang TLPH at sa kanila na ang Game 1.
Wala na silang paki sa loob ng mga tore ng Aurora at makukuha pa nila ang pangalawang Lord na ito with the largest gold lead in the game. Oh no! David!
Dalawang miyembro, may pagparil-paril pa na ginagawa nila. Wapit na immortality, mamamatay si Light at sa kanila na nakitira. Wipe out para sa Cavalry.
Team LJH na naghahanap ng kanilang match points sa Grand Finals.
At mapapagsakin na nila naman mula doon sa stand kay Sanford at ready na sila para sumigaw at match point na ang TLPH. Retribution battle. Kailangan naman ito si Tommy with a version. Face lock na dito at i-break with Philippines at sa liga ng pinakamalalakas. Ira ng cavalry ang papagaspas. Tuloy.